I am so goddamn angry that I just finished yelling into a microphone for about 8 minutes in the bathroom before I got on here so that I could go ahead and not just lapse into a profanity-laced rant that would just get your channel banned. I am so goddamn disgusted, Gary, on so many levels.
Welcome to hell, Custodian, Raginor, or Rafe Judkins. Rafe Judkins. Sorry, let's be somewhat PC. May he be raped with a cactus. Anyway, let's bring on the guests. Starting with Her Royal Highness. My apologies. I am very sorry. For some reason, my internet decided to commit suicide on me. Anyway, let's bring in Trey.
That's death.
Yeah, that guy wouldn't be moving.
What is that? And for some reason, I think the internet has gotten wise and doesn't want to watch this either.
Clearly. Let's also bring in Aspiring.
You want a good girl, but you need a bad pussy.
Uh-huh. I question your tastes. Yep, your internet's wise. However, us three are not.
Alright, let's bring in Mr. Space Joyce.
If this was a person, I would strangle it, burn the body, and proudly declare to the world that I had done it, and no jury would convict me.
Yeah, that sounds like an accurate description of Wheel of Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're doing episodes 3 and 4 today, right?
Just 4.
Oh, okay.
We've already seen 3.
Well, you've already seen 3. At most, I have seen a review of episode 3.
Well, Space, let me just... I can
Link.
sum up what happens. Nynaeve fake out, and Senchan attack village. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Perrin gets dragged around like a little bitch.
Which link?
Pardon my French.
You want to come on the stream? Or do you
I think
want to watch the show?
He wanted to stay in the back room. I think he wants the one for the movie, or like the show.
Yeah, isn't that the one at the top?
Yeah, that's the one at the top.
That's for private chat. Just put it again. I think he should be able to just do it, but he's being weird.
No, both of them are in there.
Both?
No, like, take a look at the YouTube comments.
I can see that. It is there. I'm saying he's being weird, but just light.
Yeah. Alright. Alrighty, let's hopefully let's see what is going. Let's see which one. Okay, so this one. All right, here we go.
Oh, great.
So
let's start this shit.
All right. Let's,
yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't he was being a dunce?
So let's play the previously on, so that we have some context. Here.
Where's Nynaeve? She went into the arches, but she never came out.
Oh, yeah, because you need contacts.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be playing in the regular stream thing.
When a water loses his eyesight, it's almost like he's swallowed her tongue.
I'm still your water.
Yeah, he goes in a rage.
Alana will see you.
Failed you? Excuse me?
You really don't want to know what I see when I look at you.
Absolutely not.
Well, I mean, he did save her life, so yeah, if he had done nothing, this show would already be over. Oh, that's right. Rand went to a party where the rich people decided, yeah, we're just getting rid of the poor people. No one actually believes in the Great Hunt of the Horn.
So, I'm going to make a prediction that's going to happen at some time in this show that one of Min's viewings will be someone fucking. This might have happened already, but I'm going to make that prediction.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Alrighty.
No, it wouldn't. Should I go in the other one now? There we are.
Oh boy, we get to see a
Maximum
used
brightness.
car salesman entering a dark and deep hole.
There's a metaphor in here somewhere.
They genuinely had a more intimidating salesperson villain in Ready Player One. Where the hell are you?
Yeah, I don't even know where this is at.
Why are you surprised by anything? You're like one of the oldest beings on the damn planet.
Well, he just never takes the time to stop and smell the roses. He's just got so much to do. Destroying the world is a full-time job. Oh my goodness, he said land fear.
Has someone translated this?
I am not very fluent in the Old Tongue. I have probably also mispronounced every single Old Tongue thing I have ever read.
Probably.
That would be a
but-
watch and find out.
Oh,
In
they
one of the stupidest ways possible.
All right.
But isn't he basically just reciting the dark prophecy that gets read to us later? Why is she covered in
blood?
Why is she even covered in blood anyway?
I don't know. I don't even know how they're
it's-
fucking trapped in those seals. It makes no sense.
It's all of the trap. I guess it's all of the period blood that's been congealing
Okay,
over
you know
3,000
what?
years.
No, I already had to hear all that shit once last night. Okay.
You know, that woman. That would explain a lot about them.
Question. Last night, some people made the period blood joke as well.
Yes.
Who?
I don't know.
I just want to know whose humor is as bad as Dunn's.
You don't even know what they were equating the show to on Prophet Stream just a little bit ago. God.
We're going to Gilf Manor.
I am sickened that I am aware of that reference.
Gilf?
No, it's a MILF Manor. There's a thing called MILF Manor.
Oh, yes, that is a
basically-
reality show I'm sure you would love.
I've seen bits of it, and I'm like, not really interested, sorry.
I think I've seen a few episode
Here's
reviews.
the thing, MILF Manor sounds infinitely better than half of the stuff you've tried to make me watch, reality show-wise.
Like what? Too Hot to Handle is glorious.
That is the only other one I would say is decent. The furry one you showed was... I would prefer watching MILF Manor than the furry one.
The furry one.
So, was there a reason why they needed to
older
age up Moraine, Moron, or are they just that astounded by, oh my goodness, Aes Sedai lives so long? Oh,
Yeah, they're beating the audience over the head with that between Leandrin and Moraine and her younger sister, Anvare.
Despite the fact they make Aes Sedai already look like they're ready to be grandmas.
but it's just...
You know, I really appreciate all the ageist jokes that have been going around lately.
All the what
Makes me
jokes?
feel like I ought to just crawl into my coffin and fucking die already.
I wasn't making a joke. There's some Aes Sedai and Kit I imagine looking quite old, but those are the ones who are, old by their standards. With these people, I genuinely cannot tell, are you a new? Are you, have you been Aes Sedai for 20 years or 200? I genuinely can't tell.
Well, I mean, aging up Moraine makes very little sense because it's very important that she was accepted during the foretelling when Rand was born.
Yeah.
No, the only way they can make that work is if she and Schwan were already Aes Sedai, because we did the math, and according to the way the show has it set up, Moraine would have to be 68, a 68-year-old novice, if they were sticking to them being novices for the foretelling.
Oh, that is funny.
So, yeah.
It was a decent detail that Taiwan was one of the youngest Amarellians before fucking Alvir.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess Swan went from being one of the youngest Amerlins to among the many that wasn't the youngest. I mean, unless
Yeah.
she still was the youngest, because I want to say all the other Amelins served when they were 200 years old. Also, why is he dirty?
We've already determined they can't tell time in this show. Even show fans are having an issue with their wait. Okay, it's Beltane again already. That doesn't fit. And now we have all these weird age differences. And where's the Amerlin? And all of these people are suddenly in Kyrian. And yeah, none of the timelines fit. But okay, watch this because there's a really funny editing thing here where they really screwed up the editing.
She has the weird sleeves.
No.
She does. Why do they look like scales, though?
Yeah, that's just weird. We noticed that last time.
Oh, they used that same shot twice.
Mm-hmm.
Did they?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so awkward.
Can you go back then?
I did.
You did?
No, well, no, we didn't.
I showed it in the stream team, not in the live stream.
Worse than Rings
and
of
that was
Crime,
very
or the
much-
same?
That was very much a case of Nynaeve going, "Stop touching me! Egwene is touching me!"
I want to.
To be fair, that is a traumatic experience to go through.
Oh, gosh.
I want to
Land looks
remind everyone that
awful.
Land's favorite color was blue and yellow.
Oh, right. Doesn't Nynaeve try to wear a lot of blue dresses because she
Yes.
know Land likes the color?
Yes.
Yeah, because Nynaeve is very, very horny, but also very prudy.
Well, not anymore. She isn't, because he already hit it and quit it, as people are liking to say.
Yeah.
Lock up your daughters, because we're going to hit it and quit it.
And here's the thing: she may never be able to fuck real Land again, because in her perfect world, he probably was actually good at it. They really are making her like an Indian mom. No Aes Sedai would be serving food.
And why are we spending time with Alana's family again?
Where does the third one go now?
Yeah.
I guess she'll invent rather than DPing, she'll invent tree peeing.
Well, you know,
It's already a thing.
She's got a hole, a bonus hole, and a mouth. Now she just needs 2 more for the ears.
You know what? I'm not even going to try and add to the joke. Let's leave it as this.
I can't believe you guys didn't have any comments about Land peeing on a tree.
I made my comment about him taking a tinkle already and the white cloaks thing. Just unconcerned. I'm gonna go walk up to you while you're using the toilet. No problem here. He could have been taking a shit.
He didn't dab. How does he not have any residue on his robe?
Okay, although there will be a test. What did they just say that was like actually interesting and like what?
Bone wasn't ripped from you. Ripped from you as she took it from you. Is that what
Well, you were actually paying attention.
Yeah, so I think the implication is that Moran has just turned off their bond. But I don't know.
Sorry.
Wait, pause. Pause. So, did they just say Moraine's going through the arches again? The accepted test arches?
No.
Then what was that about the arches?
Nynaeve.
Nynaeve. Okay.
Yeah, so Alana's telling Lan that since you're not bonded to Moron anymore, Nynaeve's almost an Aes Sedai. She's an accepted now.
And then they mention Katsuane because name drop. Yeah, sorry, I am trying to pay attention. It is hard paying attention to what you guys are saying and the subtitles at once.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really bad. I would say that this is worse. White Dragon die.
What?
I don't think you can.
Well, you could have just start season 2 off by having Rand, or I guess Moron, since she's the Dragon Reborn, wake up and realize that season 1 was an entire dream sequence, and they just arrived in the Two Rivers.
Honestly, no. I would just say, fuck it. We're doubling down. We're gonna make this show the biggest comedy it'll ever be. I genuinely just wouldn't give a shit after season 1. I would just say, we're gonna burn this, and it's going to look at least spectacular as it burns.
So what would you have changed from what they've currently done in season 2 then?
Pretty much everything. It's called They Have a Book.
Yeah, but I mean, if you wanted to keep the fire going even more.
He's saying if I wanted to make this show even more of a comedy, in which case, even more sex, even more jokes, even more everything. Nothing will make sense. Land will teleport everywhere.
Well,
so basically go with the Guardians of Justice idea.
I have no idea what that is. But I would go.
It is really funny. It's a semi-self-serious parody of superheroes, and it's really, really funny.
I'm going to just say yes, not being completely sure. I would just have Lan he would always just randomly appear in a scene saying, hello. And I would see if I could get the Star Trek teleporter noise just because. I would have that happen.
You saw that short clip from the Sword in the Pen Reflections too.
Yes, yes I did. It was fucking great. I'm gonna fucking use that. I'd have every fucking Aes Sedai have like 10 warders behind them, married to all of them. The warders will have their own ring pops.
Indeed. But anyway, should we continue?
Yeah, but my question would be, would those be ring pops or cock ring pops?
Both. Why not both?
Why
it's a
not
really good
both?
thing Kai isn't, monetized, because he would definitely be demonetized now.
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
we're not talking about anything untoward. I mean, it's not like...
Well, considering the fact that episode 1 opened with a throuple, I guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Threesomes are perfectly fine.
Well, and, good old Ishi wanders around with one hooked around his hand all the freaking time.
Look, when you are raised to an Aes Sedai and you're a male, you always got your gold cock ring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, come on, did no one be like, Rafe, are you being intentional with that? Because, people, that is going to come to people's minds. I think he was being, anyways.
I think, I'll be honest, Trip. I think the people who made the props took some of them out of Rafe's bag.
Now we gotta get more on Sob's story.
What?
Year or two, huh?
What? That's not normally what I think, no.
That's not...
Oh, but they gotta have, all these little water analogies or whatever, because it's a water wheel now.
Mm-hmm. And Rand is one of the spokes in the water wheel. A moron is the water.
I think
Oh,
Alana
yay!
just hasn't seen Moraine with Swan Chanche in her little paddle boat. That
We
was
now
where they had
get
their first
Moraine's
date.
childhood. Aren't we thrilled?
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, this was super relevant. Why does she have cigars?
No Aes Sedai would even have their childhood stuff. They'd all be burned.
Actually, no, I think they probably would, but I'm like, why do we don't, you know what?
This is time
No,
wasting.
we don't need Moraine's fucking backstory. And I'm sorry, but that picture is fucking hilarious.
I was about to say, it looks almost photoshopped. The people don't look like they belong.
Or AI
It
generated.
looks like
Actually, go back. Did we see?
I was thinking that it kind of looks a little bit like the frickin' Twilight baby.
I was thinking it looks almost pixelated, does it not?
Well, that could just be the internet being stupid.
How
Also,
does she know? I'm sorry, Space, but how does she know that Rand is in Kyrian?
because
I
she
know
sent
what
him
comes
here.
up. I know what comes up a little bit later, and I don't care because it's still the same fucking question. Because that whole shit is impossible.
Because if she told him to go to Kyrian, he would have gone literally anywhere else.
Well, he ran away before she could tell him anything.
But look, it's not important to know how she got Rand to go to the place where she needed him to go at the start of season 2.
Does that mean Lanfear is not the one who got him to Kyrian? It's her? In which case, why the fuck?
Yeah, that's a watch and find out, but oh my god.
Anyway, speaking of Moron being a moron, she asked questions about Rand super directly. The real, actual, genuine Moraine would not have done that. She would have been smart enough to suss out the information she wanted by asking, "Oh, hey, how are your new employees doing? No one had been causing you problems, I hope." Also, that dress is ridiculous. I hate it.
And why would she think Logain would know where the hell he was staying?
Well, because she sent Rand here to bone him, obviously.
It's a glass, a bottle.
Even when I just watch this by myself to try to give it a fair chance and just try to look at it as the show, right? Like, is the show itself making any sense, like, to a non-book reader? And the writing is horrendous.
It's so awful.
Why do you have a knife? Is it because you can't use the power?
Well, no, she's offering to give him the knife in exchange for his services.
And you notice that Lanfear's inn is called the Crescent. Isn't that just an Easter egg? Oh!
They're so subtle.
Maybe they'll make Lanfear the daughter of the Nine Moons.
Oh my god, you will teach him everything you know about channeling? Really? Like,
how is he supposed to do
what?
that?
I'm going to explain to a blind person what the color blue is.
Not just that. Let's kindly remember, he wouldn't know any more than Rand can learn by himself. Asmodee had the experience. He was in the time where that was all common knowledge. That's why he was the best candidate for a teacher. Logain doesn't know shit. Hell, Rand teaches him more because of Lewis Theron. Stop trying.
Sorry, I will turn that down.
No worries.
Your ringtone is more entertaining than this show, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's actually a notification thing.
Nothing important, does it?
That was my phone notifying me of this live stream.
Oh. Nice and prompt, I see.
Yeah.
Your phone was like, "Why are you here? You should not be here."
Or standing in, hallways talking.
Mm-hmm. Not
It's
not to
all
mention
white.
it's just ridiculous that they're not heaping a lot of praise on Egwene too, because Egwene may not be as powerful as Nynaeve, but she's still more powerful, potentially more powerful than all the Aes Sedai in the tower.
And here was our fake out from the marketing materials.
Yeah, they show a guy practicing with a quarterstaff.
Does her accepted part of the sleeves not look difficult to see most of the time? I swear, I feel like
the
it's
way
another.
they did that is just bullshit. The accepted band.
Yeah. I feel like it's another attempt to drain color, because if you don't look closely, it looks white when she's moving. I just wonder why.
That is
Why
the
is
most
everything so
awkward
dumb?
flirting I have ever seen. That was pathetic.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
that guy
Really,
looked like
was it?
It looked like he looked like a whipped dog begging for scraps.
Honestly, the show has managed to do one thing correct. What they say about the warders is what they portray.
They learned that at Mormon school, Kai.
What?
How to flirt.
Wait, no. Pause.
Well, technically she is right. Technically she is right. Aradamon and Taraban hate each other a lot and often go to war.
Yes, but presumably this means they've gotten reports from Senchan, which should make them a little bit more curious. And I'm partly wondering, why is Leandrin bringing this up? Remember, the person leading...
Didn't you see the last scene? Someone handed Leandrin a note while she was simping at Nynaeve.
Still, no. She is a dark friend. Senchan are more or less being led by a dark friend. A dark friend who maybe they won't do it in the show, but she has connections with and knowledge of, seeing as she gives the fucking characters to her.
Well, obviously the one of the Forsaken is there, so yeah, that's true. Why would Jennifer Sulky is a complete idiot based on this. I'm happy to say that Jennifer Sulky is a complete idiot.
Who is Jennifer?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, also, just to throw out there,
She's one of the major producers.
Why do novices bow to Aes Sedai and accepted? Aren't they supposed to bob curtsy? Is that what they think a bob curtsy is?
Probably.
They're
Well, you see,
all
it's
supposed to just curtsy.
It's sexist to make women curtsy because men bow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I know exactly what you're saying, Spaced, because that's perfect example of the whole problem.
Yeah.
Making women bow is actually sexist.
It's not to mention, since a curtsy can look so elegant, it just...
Excuse me. Why the fuck would the Amerlin... That's not at all what she's asked. And also, why is the Amerlin and Keeper not in the same fucking place?
Because Swan is on her way to Carrion, and it takes a long time to get there.
Yeah, we really don't know where the hell the Amerlin is at. Book question that I can't remember. Wasn't there a period when the Amerlin disappeared and it did actually cause a whole bunch of contention?
No. Because the Amerlin does not disappear.
What I mean is, she went off somewhere and didn't really tell anybody.
I vaguely remember, but I'm not sure if it's because it happened or if I'm confusing it with Harry Potter.
I don't think the Amerlin...
Okay.
I don't think so. I never heard of the... Saiwan never disappeared because she always... When she tried leaving for for Rand in book 2. She had a whole company with her. Moiraine and Leandrin fucked off, and that caused a huge sting, but Saiwan could never sneak away.
Okay, because I honestly couldn't. I'm like going, what are they basing all this on? But okay.
They are.
There's your Easter egg. You got that phrase.
Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, this bit is hilarious. It's like they've watched Prophet streams. I'm like, go change into "Don't be stupid." That is hilarious.
What does that remind you of?
Harry Potter.
Thank you.
It's a Patronus.
Oh my God. And they even made it a stag, no less.
Wouldn't these people hate Harry Potter or do the whole J.K. Rowling
Oh, I
thing?
hate this. I hate this. Yeah, that's his answer for that question we all had. Oh, we've got to be enigmatic. Are you in
Stag's just dead. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
Perrin would be happy that he's the only one that got away.
Oh, this
Uno's not in chains because he's dead.
Yeah, Uno's the lucky one.
This is so dumb. Like, Elias didn't eat raw meat. Elias didn't eat raw meat. That's dumb.
Humans can't really handle raw meat.
They're not going to make Elias a warder, are they? They're not going to make him an ex-warder.
Actually, uncooked meat is actually how some people in cold climates survive.
Oh.
There are...
Well, yeah, it's not... I think what they're trying to do here is make, again, hit people in the face with the way of the leaf versus the violence. You know what I mean? The whole eating raw meat versus not eating meat at all kind of thing, really. You know?
I guess sushi equals violence.
God. Anyway, sorry, Kai.
They're not going to make Elias a warder.
Probably not.
That's going to be so stupid, though.
Also, I may not know much about dogs, but the dogs that have been on screen, they kind of look like they're just not happy. Their tails are constantly down, like they're going between their legs. And with a dog, that's usually a sign that they've been abused.
Let's not look that deeply into the dog tail thing. We don't even know if they're real. Half of them.
Also, this whole little thing.
See?
Also, this whole little thing of trying to retroactively add Elias in is kind of to season 1 is kind of dumb.
Well, look, they forgot to put him into season 1, so they had to now catch Perrin up to where he should have been in book 1, and then he'll be ready to take on season 2, halfway through it.
Oh, he's just been following him? You fucking...
Yeah, that was from Eye of the World.
Well, did Elias follow them to Shinar? How did he track them through the ways? How did he know they ended up in Shinar? I have so many questions.
Well, that I can actually answer because of the four-legged friends.
Can't say the word.
You know what? Fuck off.
By the way, I have finished my cola, and I already feel like dying.
I think we all.
I do actually like the dog that they used for this. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to have the real thing. I think they're half-breeds, actually.
Close enough? What do you mean close enough?
Didn't they use real? Didn't they use real wolves for the Chronicles of Narnia? However many years ago that was.
Yes, they did actually. That was.
You know what? They can't even.
17 years ago at this point, actually.
They can't even keep track of their horses. Okay.
Yeah. They keep reusing the same 5.
Oh God, he looks very gay.
Help me with the water.
Well,
that was not where my thought first came to, but okay.
It's just his hair I don't know why. It just looks too fancy, and I hate it. Like, it's not like a man can't comb his hair and take good care of it, but
he looks like a Have any of you guys seen that Sasquatch soap commercial?
Oh, occasionally I skip it on YouTube, but sometimes I forget to.
He looks like the spokesperson there, but worse. I actually like how that spokesperson looked like. He looks like that, but unkept in a weird way.
See, now after all they're playing around with, oh, well, is the bond broken or severed or whatever? Now we get this little exposition about, oh, it's just that the bond has been masked.
Oh my goodness. So does... I forgot the question.
And bed, we gotta have another sex reference.
Yeah, because, you know, everyone in the Wheel of Time talks about their sex life.
So
yes.
Basically, what this whole thing is saying is...
Anyway, how is your sex life?
Silence. They really do make the water bond equivalent to a marriage in every case, rather than it being something Greens did mostly.
And what this whole thing has been saying, all of this drama back and forth about all this crap, another fake out, that the bond was just masked, as we all knew all along. But, oh, it's been masked for 6 months, so, you know, a warder shouldn't be able to deal with that. It's only in Maxim's, you know.
Yeah.
He's the one exception.
I love how everyone is staring at her weirdly because she's just standing awkwardly like a gaping Pikachu.
Oh, another example of moron being a moron. What's with her earring on her right ear? It's
haven't you noticed that they're using jewelry, well, and clothing, but they're using earrings a lot to try to differentiate between the different cultures.
Which
I have.
Oh God, here we go.
Oh my God.
Here we fucking go. And by the way, look at Rand's hilt. There is no fucking heron on it here.
I can barely see it, but I will take your word for it, because that sounds like the sort of thing they'd forget.
Well, no, they haven't had it in there at all up to now.
Didn't
We're going
they do
to
a
see
zoom
it
in
later.
Didn't they zoom in on the heron when Tam was using it?
Oh, I haven't looked at that. That would be hilarious if it was there then.
Like I vaguely remember a zoom in on the hair on the sword while Tam was using it. Anyway, I keep interrupting you, Mr. Aspiring Person. What have you wanted to say?
No.
All right.
Also, his neck is absurdly long in this shot.
They
Also,
added a few. Look, they
Actually,
CGI'd a few
so
inches.
is hers.
Yeah, they CGI'd some inches in there, so they'd be taller.
Mm-hmm. Also, do you notice how red Rand's hair is?
Yeah, did you notice how weird that is? That before it was, and here it's like he rubbed dirt in it.
He's trying to disguise himself, Trip. Don't you know? He
For a
made
trip
himself
to
into
the
a blonde.
mountains.
Well,
Yep, he made himself into a blonde.
yeah, he disguised himself when he left the city, but he didn't bother with a disguise while he was in the city because that makes perfect sense.
Oh, it is broken.
How does he know this? We have seen nothing where Rand has read about the prophecies, has read about the dragon, has really been told about the dragon. Nothing about the wheel, any of that shit. But now he's spouting philosophy.
Well, you know, he touched the Cartherian cycle for a few seconds in season 1, so there you go.
God.
Suffer.
Yep, and here I am bitching.
That's why we're all here, aren't we?
It's just creepy knowing that's land fear.
Okay, and this
Those
gets
aren't
even
dice.
worse. Oh my god. And if you look at the x-ray, Min and Matt are already in the Kyrian countryside.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, just poof.
Yeah, but anyway, you remember how bad Matt was at gambling in the books, right? He never won a game. At least they aren't having Min and Matt sleep together. Small victories.
Oh, but this is all just so stupid. Just
Oh, is it? Well, here's the question. Well, there's the question of, is it victories or reliefs?
Is it what?
Is it a... I think it's more of a relief than a victory, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, about Matt and Min not sleeping together?
I don't fucking care anymore.
You know, may as well, because Rand already has a girlfriend.
What do you mean most refuse? I've seen several Aes Sedai coming in here. No, we know it's not real, you dumbass. Your daughter did not really exist.
I don't care. Quit trying to make Leandrin sympathetic and quit trying to...
What did you lose? Why is
God, if
Leandrin
I
the one?
want this fucking bullshit, I will go watch a fucking rom-com.
Or watch a CW show.
You know,
I've seen CW shows that are so much better than this.
Yes.
Yeah, like Batwoman.
Okay, you know what? No, and I've never seen that, and I never will.
Batwoman is hilarious. It's so bad.
The one power is literal perfection. It will be when a woman uses it.
Oh, and they have to slap us in the face again with Aes Sedai have that ageless look because my son was, you know, I had him when 80 or 90 years ago. Really?
That's part of why it's so bad. You bring attention to the ageless look when you don't make them look ageless. You don't even have them have slower aging, which I'd be fine with. Just have different age-looking people like normal.
Yeah,
Instead-
okay, Leandrin, right, okay, yeah. You're... I think they're trying to make this like, oh, well, Leandrin went to the dark side because, you know, they promised to help her son, or she's losing the only thing that she cares for, so she has nothing left. So,
well, why doesn't she just get someone to heal him? She doesn't have to admit that's her son. Hell, she's Black Ajah. She can lie for all she cares.
Fucking bullshit.
that would be called a logical storyline.
They'd be called someone being intelligent.
Also, they also finally mentioned that men go insane when they channel, but they haven't really adequately explained why.
Well, and I know I saw that too, and I thought, oh, and then I went, well, all they said is they go insane when they channel. They still have not corrected it to
the taint.
I mean, that could still be that men taint it. I mean, granted, yes, sure, Leandrin's a red, so she's gonna phrase things differently, but it's still like can they not just quit with this bullshit? Because just lay that out and quit making it a mystery.
It shouldn't be a mystery. It's essential to the world building. It's a foundational thing. So much of how people in the world act towards the dragon and just males in general is inherent to that.
Oh, yeah, that can't be the same group of Shinarians Perrin was traveling with, because Perrin is not a blacksmith.
You're right, he's not. He's just the husband of one.
Okay, now I will say that this little scene, actually after Maxim leaves, because of course they had to inject stupid humor here, but after he leaves, I actually kind of almost like this little scene in the conversation that Lan and Ivan had.
Let's see. Why does Lan look like he aged 20 years in this shot?
Because his hair is gone. Or gone down, I guess.
I don't know. He didn't look older in the last scene. He just looks like he's so much more weathered for some reason.
And keep in mind, I said I like the scene,
Mm-hmm.
even though Lan would never frickin' say that.
Yeah.
Or have this conversation, but still.
It is the most sensible thing said in the show.
Yeah, how could a warder possibly be an equal to an Aes Sedai? Warders don't have bonus holes.
Are you just calling vaginas bonus holes?
Yeah, isn't that what we're supposed to call them? So that way it's an inclusive term?
Okay.
Brilliant.
Why is this always the question asked in this show? What does she want?
That's the other problem. However,
how would Lan know what Moron wants? All she did was belittle and berate him. She follows ABBAB. Always be belittling and berating.
This is what I want to ask the show. Hey, can you tell us what any woman wants? Any of them.
Okay,
well, because you keep asking this.
So stupid.
Wow, that paper has a lot of text on it.
What do you mean? What do you fucking mean? What is that?
But we already know what Alana wants. She's got 2 of it. 3 now that she has Lan.
What does... I saw what that meant. What... I'm confused. What does...
Oh, they'll go back to that.
Oh, I know, but I'm confused. I'm like, where that paper that shouldn't exist? What does it mean?
Because we can't spend more than, a minute max with anything in this show.
It is your house, isn't it?
Because Moron is just so great.
Of course, the mail ruined you.
Well, naturally.
Well, Technically, she is right. They're referring to King Layman.
Oh.
So,
the one who married more.
No, the guy who cut down the tree.
Yeah.
Layman.
Yeah, the guy.
And they conveniently have a painting of the tree right there that they keep going to.
Yeah. I wish they would specify what the fuck he did, because that did start the entire Aida War. Pretty important.
Oh no, that little detail isn't as important as a pair of sisters reconnecting and women being girl bosses.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit.
They never mentioned the topless towers.
Yeah, this is good.
Well, she certainly shot up in the character list.
Yeah,
I'm not here for your approval.
I wasn't a fan of Moron's sister being added, but now I can I can live with it.
This is the first time they've made someone competent. And that's
this was another little part I liked.
Yeah, although she wouldn't have known that Moron wanted to know about the redheaded boy if she hadn't asked directly like a moron.
Did you check room 1 and then room 2?
Well, with the White Tower, you really gotta check everywhere, because a woman could be anywhere doing anything. Close the door, for pity's sake. This is supposed to be a private conversation.
No. No, you can't. And Accepted does not have that much more freedom than a novice. They just do not understand any power dynamics ever in these things.
No.
You
not
didn't
really.
Go to the eye.
Well, they're acknowledging he's dead to them.
Yeah, but they're not acknowledging that they should think that Moron is the Dragon Reborn, because she said only the Dragon Reborn will survive at the Eye of the World, and she and Rand went, and she returned and said Rand was dead.
And of course, we can't have Egwene just being a narcissistic ladder climbing bitch.
Which she kind of is, yeah.
Yes. There's a reason she is incredibly unlikable. Why?
Oh, there's a hello moment. Hello.
Hello.
No, that's more of a surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, only Lan goes, oh
and the
no.
Second one.
Oh no.
Surprise, mother sucker. Surprise, mother sucker.
Don't you dare say it unless you're willing to say fucker, motherfucker. What are you gonna do?
No, she is not. Sorry for that.
Oh
okay.
my gosh, that's so
There
funny.
we have the girls getting knocked out so she could tie him on the horses for that scene from the trailer.
But she's just making so much more work for herself. Like,
oh my god, I hate this.
The human traffickers. They really tried to use her as like a fortune teller at a circus. Seriously.
well, and the problem is she can't control when she sees visions. She wouldn't be able to tell these people anything about themselves because there's no guarantee she'd see anything.
And also what they mean. She sometimes has zero clue. Well, at least in the books, and where it's not so fucking blatant what the fuck she's saying.
What the?
And also, why did you make her aunts human traffickers?
I don't know, because
what the fuck?
making lesbians evil is a war crime.
What these we never in the books see what Min sees on Forsaken, do we?
Well, she spots Mo Gideon in a crowd because she has a lot of images around her. So she should be seeing stuff around Ishii here.
She should be, but I'm saying I don't think in the books she never says anything specific about a Forsaken.
Not as far as I remember, she doesn't. But
So,
just a thing I realized. But also, what the fuck?
she promised to take away your visions. Okay, that's.
So Min's a dark friend?
yeah,
They really
Why?
made Min a dark friend?
Why would he want Matt and Kyrie in? Why? None of this makes sense.
No.
And
it
if
doesn't.
she was going to meet somebody physically, then why would Ishii have her in Teleran Riode?
Because dumb.
Just
well, speaking of done, this scene, there's a perfectly good cabin, and they're roughing it on the ground. You know, Land Fear, she would have loved that.
oh my god, this scene.
Oh, you don't want them to go inside. I know what happens when they go inside.
It's the cabin in the
You have-
woods.
You have not seen what I have seen.
I actually have seen this episode already.
Well, my statement's true with Dunn, at least. Dunn's virgin eyes are about to pop out of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yay. For Pete.
Look, he's holding his sword. That is something he has almost... I don't think he's done that before and up to this point. Has Rand actually held his sword before now?
I actually can't remember. He hasn't killed anything. What is that? Is that a fade?
Yeah. It was taking its sweet time to kill him. Fades are known for moving slowly. I couldn't follow any of that. I thought the actor who played Rand was bragging about practicing sword forms. Wouldn't they want to show that off?
They were joking. What the hell are they? Is this supposed to be the true power?
I think it's just the one power. But the more complicated thing is Lanfear seemed to be able to see the weaves.
Well, and plus, is that Balefire maybe? Because that fade just went poof.
If that's Balefire, I am going to actually fucking throw something.
In a way, I don't really think it is, but...
Why are they... Oh my god, they're trying to actually make it seem like Selene is Selene and not Lanfear. Like she doesn't know all this shit.
Well, she's playing the damsel in distress because she wants him to be she wants him to think she's afraid of him. She doesn't want him to have power. Not at all.
Again, even in Selene, she never made herself the damsel. She was always acting like she was in the safe.
Well, I mean, she did introduce herself as a damsel in distress, but she didn't play it very well.
Yeah, it's like she was technically in danger, but she never played the damsel. She was always being like, yeah, you'll save me. While standing confidently and knowing that she can do whatever the fuck she wants. Which is not what happens. It's just something that inevitably happens because they go crazy and start killing everything.
Yes. Why do we have to spell things out, you dumb bint? No, we should probably be providing more context for the people watching this stream. But at the same time, context is one of the 7 deadly sins.
Context does not help anyone. Do not give them more context. They legitimately will suffer for it. This just makes no sense.
Well, okay, so in a little bit of a way, following the show's whatever's set up here, I can see Celine taking this tactic, you know, of pretending like she doesn't know who Rand is and what he can do. But then kind of also what happens next is kind of like there's a logic flaw in here somewhere. I'm like, what? No,
it cannot follow if they want to make her Lanfear, because there's just something that doesn't work. The act just doesn't work at one point. You would have to change both of them drastically.
Also, I kind of missed that conversation, but wasn't she basically saying that Lewis Theron abused her?
Yes, I believe so. Trip, can you confirm?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I took it. I mean, not 100%. They didn't quite go there, but they're very much trying to make her appear sympathetic and not like she was the crazy stalker bitch of Lewis Theron.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
A yandere for weeb terms.
Sorry, Space.
Oh, sorry. I was just calling her a yandere. Weeb term.
What the fuck? What is happening?
BDSM.
Phrasing.
Yes. Yay.
What is this? Come on. I will say this. This is the most realistic Lanfear part we've gotten. What the fuck is this?
Did she ever actually call him Rand?
Nope. Why would you consider yourself a monster? You don't. You consider yourself one of the 2 future rulers.
Okay, now they don't show this for very long, so watch close here. Because it's like she just starts to channel, but they make it look a lot different.
You think this might be the true power?
And
What?
she's dead.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah, that's why Rand left his sword outside, so that way Moron could pick it up.
The
Seriously?
level of BS is freaking
Jesus
hilarious.
Oh,
No,
most dangerous.
no,
Fuck
no.
off.
Wow, they are just completely destroying things.
Yes.
Forsaken
And I know
are
some...
not immune to dying.
Okay, and I am going to ask you to pause a couple of times here, Kai. Okay, they're going to zoom in on her eyes. Okay, take a good look.
All right, and
you paused while they're closed.
Yeah, you paused on them closed, but so go back just a touch.
I know
Pause
what's
on them
I know what she's trying
open.
to show you. Now. There.
Okay, so you kind of have, I know it's dark, but still you have a pretty good look at her eyes, right? And the whites of her eyes. Okay, now continue.
And her gaping chest wound.
Now, pause. Ah, crap. Yeah. Catch your eyes when they open the second time.
Just fucking stupid. God damn it. You fucking imbeciles.
Right there. And I don't know if you can see, but can you see now what's in the whites of her eyes?
Black.
They're no longer white.
Yeah, saw. She has saw in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Well, that was crap.
Yeah.
Go through the.
So,
if you continue through the credits, there should be a little short next up for episode 5.
Oh yeah, you'll love that. Oh, it's
not
near
at
the
the end of the episode. It's actually a little next up that comes up.
Oh yeah, it's just a smidge further.
Just go to the end.
Nope, you're not going to find it there.
Go to the end of the episode.
Oh, maybe they actually put it up there now.
You did not defeat the Dark One at
They
the
did.
You set his strongest lieutenant free.
We're hearing about
the leader of the Forsaken. And now Ishmael is loose, and he has released Lanfear.
Did they call Ishmael the most dangerous for a second there?
He releases them all.
Lanfear.
And then we have no hope of winning the last battle.
That's bullshit.
There's your shot of the horn shy.
Last time they touched her cage,
is
her arm broken and practically ripped off. Can't trust an eye.
Inside the box? Yes.
Oh
my god. Okay, wait. Pause. Wait, no, you gotta go back. And it's a really, really short little right there. Do you see who was in the cage?
Yeah, we knew that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we saw that leaked script where Perrin was asking Avienda to beat him after she complimented his sword skills.
You got
something
louder.
She would never do.
Do you like to dance?
Oh, we also need more flippy kicks.
Okay, go back to the box.
No, I don't want to go back to the box. Let it die.
I want to see what the fuck they made. The horn.
Right there.
That is very goldenized.
That kind of looks like a snake, if I'm going to be honest. Like snake they spray painted gold.
It looks like an Aes Sedai ring that's meant to fit over someone's neck. We'll have to see what they actually make it look like, but that is kind of concerning.
So,
Still not the worst looking prop.
Do you want to make any bets on who's going to blow the horn? Because I'm willing to bet it will be anyone except Matt.
At this point, with the amount of fake outs in the show, yeah, I've said I think the fact that they seem to be implying it's Matt makes me think, nope, not him. He's gonna go with the heroes, but he's not gonna blow the horn. Especially if they make the prop look good, if not accurate. That especially makes me think, nah, they're not gonna put in effort in something for a man to blow it. If they do give the horn to Matt, what is something I should do?
And it's very weird because it also looks like Matt has a staff with a blade on the end of it in that shot of the heroes that we get.
You mentioned that, yeah. We're gonna get that soon, it seems.
Anyway, there is at least one thing they'll let a man blow on this show.
Yeah. The golden horn of the century.
Indeed. I don't know why Dunn is muted. Is he screaming internally, externally?
No, I was coughing. I apologize.
He coughs, I sneeze, Trip screams. What are you?
I'm the person who knows how to mute when I sneeze. Thank you very much.
I do that as well.
Shut up. I was in a different StreamYard. I legit cannot go there fast enough to mute myself. Otherwise I do.
Mute button on my mic. See?
I can't. I don't use a separate mic. I use the damn computer. But anyways, so this episode, let's just...
I want to kill Rafe Judkins.
We know this. As always, they legit just killed. They just had Moraine come up behind Lanfear and slit her throat. What the fuck? Lanfear should be able to detect her even with the fucking shield.
Well, okay, even say that Lanfear is distracted, right? Because I did see it pointed out elsewhere that later on, Lanfear, is definitely distracted and Moraine comes up behind her, right? But my biggest question is, how would the eyes and ears know where Lanfear's cabin is? And did Lanfear buy it back after Ishii freed her outside of Kyrian? Because that's where all that took place. If you look at the little X-ray. So her seal was in the Kyrian countryside. Everything seems to center around Kyrian in the show. Okay, so did she buy the cabin back, or has it just been there waiting for her for millennia and it's in perfect great shape? But that's I know that's being really nitpicky, but I'm like, what?
That's not nitpicky. That's not nitpicky. That's asking legitimate questions.
Okay, but so she talks Rand into going to the cabin with her, right?
Yeah.
So okay, maybe the eyes and ears notice this. How is Lanfear not aware that she's being tracked to the cabin, and then the eyes and ears still get to go back to town and tell Anvir so that Anvir can give Moraine specific directions on how to get to this cabin in the middle of fucking nowhere in Kinslayer's dagger?
I've got an answer for you. But go ahead, aspiring writer.
And also tell Anvir before Moraine, because they call them morons, eyes and ears, and it's like she supposedly took them over. Or is she just commandeering Averans, in which case... Hey, Wes.
So I am confident that Moron wasn't told where that cabin was. She followed Rand. He has a tell.
That's going to be the explanation for everything in this show. How did Ishii find the CL's Lanfear's tell? By the way, does anyone remember how long ago Bail Domin said the seal was broken?
No, I don't remember.
A few months.
Was it a few months? I can't remember the exact time. Either way, it is a really small amount of time to assert your presence.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Establish yourself.
Because one, you have to make an effort to do so, and two, you don't want to, and three, nobody knew who the fuck Celine was in Cairhine in the books. Because she didn't exist.
Well, not to mention, Rand has been in Carrion for 5 months, I believe. I don't know if they gave us an exact time frame for how long Rand has been there, but he's been there for a few months, and she's been released for a few months.
And this is another problem with the time whatever you want to call it, the timing in the show, because we have a 5-month jump, which supposedly they said something about they spent a month traveling to the tower. The girls did. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt and go 6 months, right? Since Eye of the World. So in that time frame, Rand has gone to Kyrian. Moraine and Lan traveled to Varen and Adelaus's place, right? And spent time there. And then Moraine managed to somehow know that Rand is in Kyrian and maybe supposedly set that up, what the fuck ever. But okay, just talking about the traveling time here. So in that 6 months, we have her getting to Kyrian. Then we have Matt and Min somehow getting in a very short time frame, because it was at least 5, the whole same period that the girls were at the tower. Matt and Min were at the tower. But now all of a sudden, poof, they're in the Kyrian countryside. So everybody has managed to fucking get to Kyrian. And again, we don't know where the hell the Amerlin is at. But from those teaser trailers, we've got either the Amerlin does arrive in Kyrian, or maybe it's, Lanfear actually, fucking with Rand in a dream. But still, if the Amerlin does suddenly show up there, it's like, well, wait, everybody will already be gone because they've got to get to Falm somehow. I'm just like, what the hell is it with traveling time and any kind of sense of time in this show? There is none.
Look, people got to be places, and they're going to be there whether they like it or not.
Look, what I think is Lan is secretly the most powerful person in this show. He mastered the Hello teleport, and everyone else is still leveling up that.
Maybe someday they'll get on Alice's level from Batwoman.
Well, okay, I have a question. So how far away is Arafel from Kyrian?
Arafel, that's where Moron and Lan were at, right?
Yeah.
About a ride.
Of time.
About a ride?
Are we asking book or...
Well, look, you're not going to find out for the show, I don't think, because I think they took down the map, or they haven't updated the map on Prime, and they also took down the timeline that was there, I believe.
Yeah, well, it seems like it would take 2 days, maybe 1, because they took 1 day to get from Arafel to the White Tower, and then another day to get from the White Tower to wherever else. I don't know.
So I'm looking at Arafel. So imagine the continent. Arafel is like in the top right of the map, while Karhine is like center right, somewhat a little bit lower.
So it's actually quicker from Shinar to Tarvalon than it is from Arafel to Kyrian.
Yeah, but unless you're on a boat, even by horseback, that's
going to take a while.
A travel.
Yeah, because so let's see, Tarvalon is there. Andor, it's around like a similar. Andor to Tarvalon is a similar distance to Arafel to Karhine. Kyrian. No.
I know. I had to retrain my brain on how to pronounce some of this stuff. But to me, that's kind of like going from, let's say, New York to South Carolina or something. Maybe not quite as far as South Carolina, but still. I mean, it's not let's jump on the horse and 2 days later we're there.
Yeah, so I can see Emmonsfield and Camelin. It's around the same distance, little bit shorter. This is, of course, if we're just going straight-wise, which, by the way, is not at all how you travel, because in this map, it also shows all the roads and rivers, which is where they're actually going to be traveling. And Karhine and Arafel are not the worst travel-wise.
It's very much cross-country.
They're not crossing a river, at least.
Haven't they said from Faldara to wherever Perrin is at, which is going to be somewhere over there by Domain.
It's about 5
Where
months.
the heck is Atuan's Mill? Is over there somewhere in Aradoman, right? They may not have it on the map. But so basically look at that and go, okay, well, that's a 5-month journey. So
it's in Tomon Head, so it's here.
Falme is very far. Falme is like on the other side of the continent.
Actually, they do have it. They do have it on the map.
Yay!
This is where they're at.
So if you look at that being a 5-month travel and just kind of extrapolate, then yeah, I'm sorry, it's more than just like look at Tarvalon to Kyrien.
Yeah.
That's got to be at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, the thing that they might have, like, those on defense of the show, there are rivers where I think you can maybe take the travel time faster because it's a fucking boat. And remember, that's how fucking the Amerlin gets into Shienar in like 2 weeks from Tarvalon.
Yeah, but I know I'm not talking about the Amerlin. I am talking about Moraine and Lan who are on horseback. Yeah. I'm talking about Matt and Min who are on horseback. They are not traveling by river.
They are not.
But yet, literally, they're in like a day or 2.
Yeah.
I'm just.
It would not work.
I'm just like, what?
You can criticize.
You know what? They borrowed the horses from Rings of Prime.
Yes.
Clearly.
The horses are magical. They can walk over any surface as if it's not even there.
Or they got from the mouth of the whatever river that was, but they got from the sea of Mordor in like, literally like 2 days or something.
Or they unlocked all the aether currents, so now they can fly. So they just flew their horses there.
I don't know.
Yeah, they just clicked the circle on the map and it took them there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to mention how in this wonderful depiction of Randland, we have not only the Horn of Valir in the top corner and the Aes Sedai symbol, but what is probably, I don't see a heron mark on it, but it's a better sword than what they have in the show.
Looks like a one-handed sword. Aren't they supposed to be a two-handed sword?
I think it's just the style. I think it's just the scaling makes it look one-handed.
Yeah, and also I don't know if they ever specified if a heron mark blade has to be two-handed or one.
I think they generally will use it two-handed. They don't describe it as a hand and a half.
Well, they generally doesn't mean it's a rule. They do two-handed because that's more or less better, but you could potentially have one-handed one.
Lan and Rand and most of the other swordsmen,
swordmasters use a two-hand. I'm not saying otherwise, but I'm saying there's nothing saying they can't. Especially since Rand loses a hand, that might be a time where they want a one-handed heron mark blade.
Oh wow! Spoilers. Wait, did he lose his dominant hand or his offhand?
He lost his offhand.
Offhand? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what handed he is.
Okay, so I have another question or a bit. So we know from that little clip going into episode 5 that, they really are overpowering Avi's, fighting skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that in the books, once she becomes a wise woman, then she would probably incur tow if she actually fought like a warrior rather than be a wise woman, right? I'm kind of thinking that.
Something like that, yeah.
But I'm pretty damn sure they're not going to do that in the show anyways. So now we have Avienda, who is this basically is the Black Widow of Randland, right? And she will be an extremely powerful channeler at the same time. So why do they need Rand? Why do they need anybody else? Because Avi could just basically, I'm waiting for her to be doing flippy kicks and channeling at the same time.
Yeah, well, besides, Rand isn't even all that strong. He's only as strong as Logain. Logain is weaker than Egwene, and Nynaeve is 10 times stronger than Egwene. So, Rand isn't even the most powerful channeler in the world, like the Dragon Reborn is supposedly supposed to be, supposedly.
That's why he's the only hope. He's the strongest male channeler besides Ishmael and Ravin.
Not in this show.
And even those two aren't as strong as he is.
According to the wiki, they are actually. If there's a wiki where it shows power levels of all the character, and Ishmael and Ravin both are the same as Rand.
Well, they're in the same tier, but there could be some slight variance in the tier. But more importantly, that's book lore, and book lore does not apply to the TV show.
Yes. The whole world will be yours.
Yeah,
can't trust an Aiel? Wait. Pause. What do you mean can't trust an Aiel?
No, that was Dane. Wait, that was Dane Bornhold saying the last man who approached her cage almost got his arm ripped off.
Oh, okay, so they're having the White Cloaks keep her in a cage because they remembered from the books that when Gaul was released from the cage, who's dead, by the way,
yes,
he fought a
exactly.
He fought a bunch of White Cloaks. Therefore, the White Cloaks are the ones who captured the Aiel.
Oh, so is that supposed to be a bear scalp or part of the headdress? Because if it's supposed to be bear scalp, that is one of the worst shave jobs I've ever seen.
No, that is part of her headdress. Somebody, actually, it might have been Steve or somebody on one of his streams pointed out when you look at her face forward, they're like hawk wings.
Good, it's dumb. Also, with this line, let's bitch about this for a sec. Why have they decided to give the Forsaken such greater importance when they're not unimportant in the books, but to say that if they're all free, we have no hope of winning the last battle, no.
They're gonna break free no matter what.
Yeah, and they're not above other channelers. They know more. They have a lot of advantages. They're very skilled. Not denying any of that. But they are still technically channelers. Yeah, they get captured. They make mistakes. They make incredibly terrible decisions due to their blind spots. They are not the end of the world.
Demigods.
But okay, I am going to push back a little bit on that, Shy, because what we're seeing here is from the point of view of the Aes Sedai. And at that particular time in Randland, all they really knew were the legends and the myths. So to them in the books, okay, the Forsaken were the boogeymen.
I agree with that, and I would say
not to Forsaken, not to Aes Sedai. I don't get this.
No, even to Aes Sedai. Even to Aes Sedai. They thought that big whole thing Rand did at Shuttle or Got would be Forsaken. They legit had no idea what the Forsaken were really capable of yet, and were consistently shocked. They had a very overblown reputation at that point and had not yet been brought back down to earth. Nynaeve was shocked that she could take one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's there are multiple times where people kind of have to realize, oh, the Forsaken are not as bad as we thought they were. They're still human. So I can kind of see her point. I will say I still criticize it in a writing standpoint because while it might make sense character-wise, I know what they're trying to say. I know what they're trying to do, and it's no, they are not. Because here's the thing, they've made it so the Seals are no longer freeing the Dark One, they're freeing the Forsaken. And so they're making it so more Forsaken Freed means more determined Gaydon, which no, it's not what the fuck's happening. And also,
you don't get to drink a whole liter of Coke in like 3 minutes for the next stream.
Why? I'm not even
because
sure.
it makes you like you're on crack.
Well, they did put cocaine in it.
You're talking? But, right, so, what was I saying? Fuck. Also, I'm going to...
Jack.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying Kai never got to make his point.
Well,
did he not?
I guess I get the feeling in the books that Aes Sedai don't see them as boogeymen, they see them as powerful antagonists. But
well, that is what I meant by boogeyman, but okay, go on.
Yeah.
The idea that I get from is that they believe that a single Forsaken can only be beaten by a group of Aes Sedai. That's the sense that I get. It's not necessarily they were just like, all right, they're powerful and they're scary, but they aren't nearly as they aren't superhuman. They're just powerful. That's the sense that.
Remember that time in Saladar, the one time they all woke up because of something and they all started getting into circles? Like, they make a lot of preparations in case the Forsaken decides to just attack them. Not multiple, just one. They're just terrified of one.
True.
I think maybe Boogeymen might be giving it a wrong impression, but the Forsaken have a much more overblown reputation than they deserved among the Aes Sedai. In part because they just didn't know what they were capable of.
Well, look, they had. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they have forgotten how to translate trip speak, but go ahead, Spaced.
Well, they're making it so if all the Forsaken get released, it's the end of the world because we gotta have stakes, man, and we can't have stakes if we don't have a fetch quest for the bad guys.
But then you can't do that and also have them pet Trollocs.
There's also a kind of funnier element of this is basically the seals on Lucifer's prison in Supernatural.
Never seen it, but I imagine what you mean by that.
I've seen 11. I've seen 11 seasons.
From what I've heard, it gets worse. I feel like you may have wasted part of your life doing that.
Didn't the CW get a hold of Lucifer?
Not that. He said Supernatural, not the Lucifer show. Also, I have zero idea. I know they had a cameo, but I don't know if they own it.
Yeah, I don't think they do. No.
Hopefully not, because what am I fucking saying? Lucifer's already ruined in the last 2 seasons. Fuck that shit. But
really,
yeah,
you didn't like the 2 seasons?
I have not watched them because I watched it with a bunch of my friends, and we did not want to watch season 5 after we heard half the shit that happened. I might consider watching it if someone else tells me it's worth it. But I like Lucifer too much to not want to taint it, especially with future daughter time travel crap.
Yeah, that part was kind of weak. I wasn't the biggest fan of that.
Okay.
But it was kind of an okay. It was an okay-ish ending. I wasn't bummed.
5 or 6.
I think 6 is the ending.
You think 6 was a fine ending? Just to confirm what you're saying.
I think it was okay. I don't really know of any other way they could have really ended it.
Season 4, but okay. I might consider seeing it and see.
I would say that it's 5, which is just it's average. The best ending that I've seen for a TV show are Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Those are the best things I've seen for a TV show.
I've seen some other ones that are decent, but I'll see about it.
Legend of the Seeker is technically a good ending. One of the better endings, at least. Conclusions to show.
While you're thinking on that, can I ask a Wheel of Time question?
Yes.
Shoot.
Please do.
So in the show with their god awful pacing, what, let me think of how to phrase this.
From the Dragon Reborn, do you think they've taken?
No, what interesting event that happened in the White Tower involving another creature of the Dark One did we not get to see? So I think they're going to completely leave them out. Yep.
Grayman. That is a very good question.
Grayman, admittedly, if in a better show, in a better life, I would honestly be curious on how they would do to Grayman, considering their description is the most uninteresting people in the world.
Well, with the right director, you could work a gray man into any scene. Like, you just have the camera focus on the main character, have a gray man in the background moving towards them, and that's it. You just don't focus on the gray man until they're actually a direct part of the action. And even then, you can keep the camera unfocused on the gray man, and that simulates the effect of they can't, like, your eyes just want to go right past them.
Because I remember there are. We'll keep the Wheel of Time. Let's not bring in examples.
Oh, now right there towards the end, did you notice that Perrin has a sledgehammer?
I remember that being mentioned and notice it. The scene is so fucking dark.
It's tough to tell which person standing around in the background is Perrin.
And just really,
I think it's in this one.
I get he has a warhammer, but this is kind of early for that.
Well, look, it's fine. Perrin's supposed to have a hammer in the books. Why are you complaining about him having a hammer? Jeez.
So do you think they're going to go from in Kyrien, do you think they're going to find a waygate and that's how they're all going to get to Falm in time for everything to be happening?
Look, they're just going to ride their horses there.
I'm going to be super fucking pissed if they use a way. They're gonna use a waygate. They have to because fucking Leandrin. But they're just going to completely ignore the Black Wind and how during the Great Hunt, Pat and Fane managed to get the Black Wind to basically block Rand from ever using a waygate. That was a super fucking impactful moment because the Black Wind was already a pretty big threat in Book 1. And then Pat and Fane just made it its bitch.
Well, not really. It was basically just Pat and Fane's...
managed to order it.
No. It was the description at the very end of the Great Hunt is that when Machudson grabbed onto Fane in the ways, some bit of his purpose sloughed off onto it.
Oh, so the Black Wind... So the Black Wind is the ability to sense Rand.
And specifically goes for him. Is that why? Because I thought Pat and Fane had managed to order it.
No, it didn't. No, Pat and Fane didn't order it to do it. Let me go find the. Probably, actually, you know what? I have the PDF.
Well, while you're doing that, I should probably get going because it is late and I am tired like Kyrian. That didn't rhyme.
Let me see. Where?
All right. Have a good night.
Well, have a good night, Spaced.
Let me see. Wheel of Time. Let me see. To specifically find.
Yeah, I'm not sitting at my computer, so I'm not looking. I'm lazy.
We know. We're fine with that. We will tell you everything.
Okay,
and the wiki actually says fucking nothing.
Let me see. So it's probably around 2200, about
The
1600.
wiki is shockingly useless on that.
Yeah. Let me see. Come
It
on.
mentions its origins, but actually does not tell anything about it within the story.
Let me see. So, let's see. So a little bit more. It's about 1,000 pages.
Well, you know, and that's an
Okay.
interesting take because and I've not read the end of The Great Hunt again yet, but I don't think I ever thought about it as a part of, per se, Mashadar broke off and kind of joined with Makan Shin.
Wouldn't it be
Sure.
Mordet that a piece of him maybe got on, or the part of the Dark One? Because I don't think Mashadar is related with Padden Fane beyond just Mordet.
All right, White, come on in.
Well, no, because, well, maybe not.
Because Mashadar and Mordet are like
yeah,
two
but
different
okay,
entities.
yeah, same. A lot of times when I talk about that, to me, kind of Mashadar and Padden Fane and
You conflate the two.
all of that kind of wrap into, because in a way they're very related and
they are.
Yeah.
Is this the entire? Don, is this the entire Wheel of Time series?
Yes, this is the entire Wheel of Time series.
Can you give me that?
If you ask me very nicely.
Oh, I will do so after the stream, because I would gladly like to not keep doing holds.
No, I'll send it to you when I'm at my computer.
Thank you.
Shh. We're being bad.
Hey, White.
Oh,
Hey,
there it is.
White.
Yeah, I
But
figured since you
What?
So
it's exceedingly handy when you're trying to research stuff. Yes.
I can see the use of it, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find
the chapter where Rant and Care Highness should get you near the area. Or honestly, fuck it. Let me see. Can I get Mash and Shin appearances?
Yeah, but is that where it explains it? I mean, I remember when they try to enter the Waygate and the Black Wind is just there waiting for them.
Yep.
But is that where they explain what's going on?
They might. It's one place to look. Because I think they might have said... Because we're currently having two different things. Dunn believes that they said it was... that Padden Fane mentioned a part of him slipping off, which I think might be something from
I don't think it was... I think Moraine said that.
Yeah, which makes me think you're going to look at Eye of the World, because I think that's where you're going to it. And I think what you're remembering is the explanation for how he survived it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because
you have to give it a... Okay, wait, hold on. So two things. Sorry, Shy, but... Okay, Kai. So number one is when you're searching a 14,000-page PDF, it's going to take a while to index it, but maybe look for Black Wind, because isn't that more how they refer to it at that point? In that segment that you're looking for?
I go back and forth. Fuck you.
I'm just thinking there might be fewer instances.
So,
but yes, quit being clicky fingers and let it think for a minute.
So,
because I swear I thought it ordered it. I thought they mentioned Padden Fane had it placed there to like guard it. Because remember, the reason they're trying to get into Waygate is to follow Fane, and it seems very coincidental that the Black Wind it proceeds to start doing that the second they're trying to follow Fane.
Okay, that's good. At least there are only about 29 instances.
This is one of the chapters.
Okay, are you there now in that area? It kind of looks like.
Wait, no, you should have read a little bit more of that chapter. I think that was one of them.
So Black Wind, it was standing guard. Machin Shin could not be used as a guard. creature of the Dark One, no one knows. Yeah. If they theorize that that it is.
Yeah.
That it is what?
That Pen Fate had it as a guard.
Yeah, they theorize, but Varen dismisses it.
Yeah, but Varen can be wrong.
Oh god.
And I think there is enough to. I think that there's enough that it's possible that he could have, considering he has both aspect of the Dark One as well as anti-dark via more death.
Yeah.
So
I would swear there was somewhere else that they did it clarified a little bit.
It might.
And Shy, if you're really curious, don't do the wiki, just do a Google search and you're probably going to find some Reddit threads or other fan boards that sometimes, especially the ones that, you know, were in the early 2000s or something like that, 2005, 2006, where you see a lot of people who really knew this stuff as well as, say like Kai or like Dane, you know? And yeah,
I found it. Oh, I found a little bit. So how did he escape the Black Wind? He did and did not. Some greeted him. Okay, so it greeted him like a friend. Others feared him, and it ran off.
Yeah, I didn't say a part of
answer. Wait, go back. Sorry, I'm reading it on my television, so no sooner did the wind envelop Fane than it fled. Pray that it does. There's met and hidden.
Because I'm pretty sure this is saying how he survived it, but it doesn't say a part of him went in the Black Wind. I remember that fairly clearly.
Yeah.
The statement makes more sense when you know about the duality of the two sides in him.
That may be one of those things where it's kind of a
up in the wind.
It's never really clarified.
Up in the Black Wind.
Yeah.
I do feel, because I'm curious where I got the impression from. Granted, it might be just a guard thing, which Varen denies, but I feel like that was what it ended up basically confirming it to be. Because honestly, the last thing I remember of the Black Wind even being relevant was Perrin and the others going to the Two Rivers.
That's actually the last time that, the Shadow Rise, well...
It was Shadow Rising, yeah. Is that seriously the last time it shows up?
Well, it says actually Gathering Storm.
Okay, because I was like, wait, why is the Black Wind just gone?
Well, because they never go back into the ways.
Never.
They have other ways to travel, but to the way Kai is phrasing it, that is kind of interesting when you think about it, because Makan Shin eats souls, so when it envelops Fane, it would have tried to eat his soul, but then it freaked out and fled from Fane, and what if it did take a little bit of his soul or his knowledge or his mission with it? Having that knowledge, I mean, that does make sense.
It could be how he's able, the Mashin Chin is able to get to a waygate that Rand is about to travel to. Could be how. But it also doesn't exclude the possibility Pan Fane's able to tell the Black Wind what to do. Because the Black Wind clearly isn't just following Rand by the time it's Shadow Rising. It's about to kill Perrin.
Well, it doesn't deliberately follow Perrin. It just kind of is attracted to flesh, and there's a lot of Trollocs coming.
Yes, but in the Great Hunt, it is deliberately following Rand, and the only reason that can be is Pat and Fane.
True, but they only ever say Althor. They don't say Perrin's name at all.
True. I'm saying that there might be a little bit of both theories where the Black Wind might have gained its ability from Fane to track Rand, and that Fane pretty much made him guard him against Rand.
Well, the problem is Fane wanted Rand to come to Toman Head.
But he wanted Rand to basically go through the long way. I think that was his point, was like, you're not taking the easy way like I did. You were going to go across the entire fucking continent, because he had a bitter ass.
Yeah, but I don't think Makan Shin is capable of that type of complexity. If Makan Shin picked up in whatever form or fashion that Fane wanted Althor or wanted the Taveran, right? Because that was part of it too. Then that's what it understood was the need, because Makan Shin is all about need.
Yeah, but I don't think it's too complex for Fang to say, "Block me against Rand, this person you can track." I think it's a fairly simple order.
I don't get the sense that Fane wanted to kill Rand as quickly as possible. He's not patient like that. He didn't really want a delay. He wanted.
I don't know.
He doesn't come. He said he keeps taunting Rand to come after him, and he doesn't give the sense that he is trying to block or hinder Rand, because if he blocks or hinders Rand's path, that means his revenge and his ability to be whole is delayed, and he doesn't want that.
Not his ability to be whole. He has the dagger, and he has it. Remember?
He has it, but it's within a it's
box.
In a chest he can't open. But
I remember some dialogue about him wanting to basically suffer the way he suffered, which is part of why he was running all the way across the continent. He wanted Rand to follow him instead. That is something I remember very clearly. I don't think he's patient, no, but I do remember him very much wanting to run Rand into the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think him blocking the ways was part of that. One, so Rand doesn't catch up to him before he's ready. Because he seemed to be having a plan at Toman Head. He was clearly doing some shit there and didn't want Rand to come too quickly. And I think there's a part of him wanting to suffer. Because he knows Rand.
I don't really take it as that it was all about blocking the Waygates. I think Makan Shin just wanted to eat Rand. It's just that when they opened the Waygates, the Black Wind was there, so there was never any opportunity, because the Black Wind actually tried to come out of the fucking Waygate.
True. It tried that in book 1, though. And it wasn't specifically after Rand at that one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Regardless, Makan Shin just wants to eat things.
Yes, but in the Great Hunt, he goes specifically to 2 Waygates they're traveling to go through. That's very intentional on the Black Wind's part.
Well, yeah, no, that's not. But what I am saying is the Black Wind wouldn't just be like, okay, I'm happy now, I'm blocking the entrance to the Waygate. No. If they had somehow entered the Waygate, it just would have eaten them.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
It wasn't, yeah, I don't know. That's just the way I always took it. It wasn't a case of, oh, we're just blocking it so you can't use it. Ha, ha, ha. It's more a case of, come into my parlor and I'm going to eat you.
Well, I think that's how he was being used functionally. He did want to eat them, but I believe Fane was using him as a blockage because they know no one's stupid enough to go into Makan Shin.
there's also, well, the element of Fane and his crew survived to get to Toman Head. If the Black Wind had come at them, I don't think he interacted with the Black Wind.
I don't think he has any of his crew alive by the time he gets to Toman Head.
No, they're alive. He remarks on the fact that he'd left them behind on Toman Head.
Well, you know, and that's what is also such a bummer about the show is, and maybe
Machin's a therapist.
Well, yeah, that, but no, when it comes to Pod and Fane. Now, sure, he was probably the creepiest person at the Dark Friend Social, quite honestly. But God, that character is so complex and so traumatized and so interesting. I actually think he is a much more interesting character than a lot of the Forsaken, you know, a lot of the other characters in the book. I think he might actually be one of the most complex ones just because he's part because he's Mordeth and he's part Mach and Shin, and he's been abused by Fades and by, I mean, it's just like, holy crap, that dude is just, and I don't think, so they've got this fantastic character and they're just going to make him, blah in the show.
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. So I do have a reference. So
I do see that, yeah.
So
read it.
Okay, so the woman's companions have been shaken by the journey along the ways to a waygate outside a long abandoned steading on Toman Head, and watching the Trollocs prepare their dinner have made this surviving dark friends extremely biddable. So I do find it really, really funny. The woman had not wanted to give up her horse no more than any of the dark friends who had followed him, but wanted to be left alone in the hills with the Trollocs, without Fane's protecting presence. He had solved both problems easily. Meat in a Trolloc cook pot had no need of a horse. That is evil, but it's darkly hilarious.
Yep.
It's like something out of Sandan Glocta's head. So, but we've been neglecting our non-reader friend. What'd you think, White?
Is the show in of itself is just a meandering waste of time, honestly. It's hard. It takes forever to get anywhere, and by that time, there's actually something happening, and my brain's already just fried.
Well, and maybe when you guys watched it, when I only saw little pieces of it last Sunday. So White, do you have, now that we have a non-reader, now I'm trying to think of questions for a non-reader. So from watching the show, well, you guys have probably corrected him on a lot of things and explained a lot of things, right?
Probably forgotten.
Yeah.
I tried.
Because honestly, I wondered from watching the show, do you think that men and women use the same thing to channel? In other words, is it a gendered magic system?
I have no idea. I need to, because honestly, when I watched the first season, I was like a year. When did it come out? Like 2022 or something?
21.
Yeah, it's been like almost 2 years. I tried to rewatch the first season. I watched the first episode. Yeah, I watched the first episode. Had a complete rant. Was done.
I saw. We saw it. Done. Just share your insanity.
Curious.
I don't know what's in store for me for episode 2, so I'm trying to rewatch it. But I have to like hold a gun to my head and force myself to watch it. especially after watching a couple episodes of the second season. The first 2 episodes were such a chore to fucking watch because
they're boring.
Just boring, meandering messes that just don't know how to pace. These people just don't know how to fucking how to pace a show or anything, and it just drives me nuts. There are movies.
Even if you don't remember season 1 per se very well, do you remember your impressions from when you watched it? Was it making any narrative sense?
Fuck no. It is not. Hell, maybe Rings of Power might be slightly better in that regard. At least I think there was more things happening.
Yeah, it's a really boring show.
Well, it's very hard to watch the show when you have the book knowledge because all of that is coming in and interpreting the gaps for you.
I also, in this particular episode, I mean, when I first started to watch it, I got sidetracked by a meme I was just making earlier today. And besides that, I noticed like halfway through, like some of the acting was just very dull and just bland.
There's a lot of lame acting in this show. A lot of people will say that it's good, but
it's fucking high. Sorry, mate.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, because like a lot of.
So, hey. Who would like to watch some behind the scenes stuff?
You're gonna make me listen to Rafe's fucking voice again, aren't you?
So
yeah, his high-pitched soy boy like he is kind of a he kind of has a stereotypical soy boy voice.
I had
white.
So I had to. I was rewatching a lot of the dialogue in episode 1 and stuff, and just it seemed very stale and just by the books. And I had to rewatch a scene from Game of Thrones, like a couple of Tyrion's best moments from Game of Thrones. I'm like, oh, that's what good dialogue felt like.
It feels so good.
Because
I have wait. I have a question, White. So, given the choice between four maximum amount of pleasure, would you rather watch Wheel of Prime or the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones?
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, I'm serious. I'm actually not asking that to torment you. I'm trying to gauge because I know how much you hate the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
As I want to fucking Kermit Death Star on those last 2 seasons, I would rather watch those than fucking boredom of time.
Wow.
Because at least I can be mad and engaged rather than just load into a fucking coma. And then the only time I remember, it was the last episode of the first season. The only time I was actually energetic was the ending bit with the weird fucking ladies with the weird shit in their mouths, or making a tidal wave for some reason that just went absolutely nowhere.
Because it was so confused. Yeah.
The demone with the pacifiers.
The underage girls with the pacifiers.
Oh God! Is it the next episode? No, I don't think it's 5. I think it's 6, maybe, that we get Egwene captured by the Shan-Chan. I think that's when we get her ordeal.
So I might just watch episode 2 later and see how I feel about that one tonight or tomorrow, whenever, and just go through the paces like I did for the first episode. Because
Nope, you go.
I fucking I caught a whole bunch of shit obviously in that first episode. Like, wait a minute, a lot of this shit's like very derivative of like. Well, actually, it wasn't. Goddamn dogs! I swear to God. Stop! Jeez. They hear we're at time and they're like, "Fuck you." Anyways, I'll try to power through this because someone's at the door probably. I I almost lost my train of thought, but I still have it. I was just wondering why the show was just me. I remember because the opening was just exposition dump, the fucking intro, where they were just blatantly just telling us shit, and I have like no context for any of this shit because obviously I'm just a show person. I don't know anything else, and I'm just completely lost. Yeah, I am completely lost. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go rewatch fucking the intro for Jackson's Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, holy shit, this makes so much more sense, and it's just so little, and it was actually the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Between, and obviously, since I watched that, I also caught a couple of things near the end, which I discussed with Dan later that night about the whole very, very not so subtle Lord of the Rings references.
Don't bring that up. That's a whole other discussion. But I did look up, and the only thing I can find as a statement would be that, as like you said, Trip, Mashing Chin got a piece of Pat and Fane's soul, and so hunted Rand. It doesn't say anything about Fane ordering him.
Oh, I forgot what the fucking. There was a couple of funny bits in that first episode, like the dumb lady, whatever, the black one. I don't know which one. Just dumb lady just gets tossed into a fucking river. That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, you mean the Indian one?
Oh, you're talking season 1 where they just shove Egwene off the cliff.
Yes.
I'm like, what the fuck? Was this some crazy cult initiation? What the fuck is happening here?
Yeah,
Yes,
isn't that how
it
you
is.
would like to be initiated into womanhood? Here, bam! Survive this, bitch.
Here's a brain lull. I made the joke on the live stream for season 2 that I was just imagining, just like when she got out of the river, there were just a bunch of skulls and bones everywhere.
That
A bunch of people.
Sounds a whole lot more interesting than what we actually got.
Oh god, I can't believe nobody ever made that meme.
Can you open what I just...
Egwene is just like laying there on the riverbank, that she's just surrounded by, the wasted skeletons of the women before her that didn't make it.
They didn't make womanhood.
Really should have done. Open that and go to like the first paragraph break. We'll show you all the first few not chapters, paragraphs of that real quick because it's relevant.
Okay. You talking about this?
Just go down until you see the paragraph break. Keep going.
Writer Showroom 1, next office writer.
This is me and a bunch of other guys on Red Hand who decided to just go crazy on a little game. Colors are like people's ideas. Yes. Just put the part on the top and read a few of the paragraphs that's relevant to the thing.
Didn't I tell you never question me by us menfolk, a bunch of warheads we shut. Oh
What the fuck is this?
This is a parody.
Oh no! Yes. Those are great. Thinking about I'll use that clip and show you sensible. Like, just have to learn the cement tradition. You have to tradition. I'm just imagining like it's just some weird death cult where like they barely survive. It's not even a river; it's just a cliff. It's like if you survive this, you become a man. No man, there hasn't been a man in 100 years. Oh, I'm sorry. The riverbed dried out 100 years ago. I wonder what happened.
Just read that last red paragraph on that page.
I can't defend myself from Somebody attacking me because I wonder if pushing girls off cliffs into shallow water to see if they actually deadly survive is an effective tradition. 3 minutes later, he ran his horse ahead of the mob that chased him out of them. Oh, that's you tried to reason with the brain damage and their mechanism. You just tried to move to 7. Oh, that's funny. That's great.
Yep.
Oh no.
That
So
funny.
Anybody can know the meme or the joke of probably wondering how I got to this point in my life, and then it does flashback. It was that part where she was doing the shit. She just got off the riverbed and it was just panning out. I just took a screenshot and just wrote that text down. I'm like, wonder how I got into this crazy death cult of women.
I think I'm gonna read that on a writer's showcase. That whole thing, just cause.
Yeah, and then I talked about how like everything looks clean, and that's like still something that's even in the second season.
Yeah,
it's like everybody just took everything off the fucking off the fucking press, not the printing press, because it's clothing, it's the sewing machine, whatever.
Store. The studio's just in front of a thrift store. That's where to get everything. It's all donations.
No, it's from Circus Party. I forgot that store is called. It's like you get a bunch of costumes and shit from it. Circus City or something.
Fresh off the rack.
Oh yeah, by the way, what's the deal with the whole dead animals? Was that ever a thing that come up again?
Nope. That was a direct ripoff from Game of Thrones because they wanted to do a Game of Thrones thing.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that. I said Fook Off show with like I wrote it as FOOK as in the Free Folk.
I think
it was also an Easter egg that only book readers would get, which is the dumbest fucking thing to me that you can do in an adaptation is throw in obvious Easter eggs like that you never follow up or really explain what the hell is going on, but it's just there.
Is it just me? Was they have the like weird moments in the show, especially in the action scenes, where it just starts playing Batwoman-esque music, and it's just like the most cringe music you ever heard in your life?
Yes. Well, this is a thing that's been mentioned. By the way, I think part of our problem with those Easter eggs, it's basically in a better show, those Easter eggs would be foreshadowing, but they don't do that in this show.
Yeah,
they traded foreshadowing for fake outs. An infinite supply of fake out.
You ready for the inside the episode for this?
How long is it?
Have you seen the?
4 minutes. Okay.
Have you seen my new masterpiece?
You believe there's only one way to become an Aes Sedai.
But they're wrong. What do you mean they're wrong?
I'm gonna kill you, son of a bitch.
Spoilers ahead, BS.
In episode 201, we open with a Cabal of Dark Friends, which is actually taken directly from one of the books.
Wow. We get it, guys.
And
we saved the city.
Everybody's faces are covered, but you get a hint of the cultures that we meet in this season, and perhaps characters that we've already met before.
What?
The Dark Friends have infiltrated every society in our world. We can see that there is an Aes Sedai at that table, which means that the secret Black Aja actually exists.
Oh, they actually said the word!
You get a brief glimpses of their cultures. That line just stuck with me. I'm like, what the fuck are you smoking?
So I was just saying, oh, so they are going to pussyfoot their way around it. Okay.
Pussyfoot around the Black Aja name.
Yeah.
Season 2 has been a completely different experience for all the actors from Season 1 because Season 2 has seen us all split up and their goals have stopped being a common goal and become more individual
What goals do they have?
For us with Rand, one of the things that was most important is to be clear with the audience, as the books are, that just because Rand is the Dragon Reborn, it doesn't mean that it's all about him.
Hello,
what is it about?
Dragon reborn, you fucking moron, because you're the one who made it that way.
Also, fuck you. You did that poorly, because it is a thing in the books where it's not all about him, to make that clear. He cannot win the last battle by himself. He needs everyone. But also, fuck off. You basically you make him irrelevant. He needs to be essential, but everyone needs to be essential. You have made nobody essential.
Yeah, I mean, fuck off. I mean, I've been watching. I've been just addicted to Star Wars What Ifs like the last week, and and on a lot of them. In a lot of these What Ifs, especially when it comes to like Episode 3 What Ifs, a lot of them are just like a group of people. It isn't just Anakin alone doing everything. It's usually him like being the catalyst, but everything else happens. Like someone else gets the kill of Palpatine or something. It's like, yeah, he's the main character. Like it should mostly be about him, but it doesn't have to be mainly about him. Everybody can have their moment.
From book 3, it's made clear Rand cannot do it alone. The second they say if another one of the 3 Targaryen, because there's only 3, you stupid show, he is doomed. They make that very clear.
Yeah, super powerful. Shut up.
What the hell does he have to say about Beltane, since, Beltane comes once every 9 fucking months or something?
Look, they have leap months.
They also have leap leagues, okay? That's how they can get places so quick. God.
That's what gateways are going to be called. Leap leagues. They no longer have portals, they just hop everywhere. They rediscover.
Oh, that's what the Grolm are. If we ever get to see those,
You fools. They just fast travel.
We're never going to see the Grollem's trip. Never.
Okay, where did Kai go?
You see him with his belt, but the show is driven by the characters around him. Egwene is very determined to be at the White Tower, and Nynaeve is the one who doesn't want to be
the White
there.
All we've done since we signed the Book of Numbers is clean.
Hold on, I need to
They're
drink
in this
some
arc
Sprite.
of power and control. The interesting thing about Egwene for season 2 is that we do get to see that she is jealous of Nynaeve and the power that
Yeah, pause. She never is, though. She bristles against Nynaeve's authority over her, because that's a thing that does happen. Egwene ends up being a fucking little shit about it until Elaine, in one of her best moments, slaps Egwene for acting like a fucking child.
Honestly, it's hard to really grasp at what people are thinking, because everybody just has plank face a lot of the time. For me personally. And their acting is very.
The next time you and Kai get into one of your fucking pedantic arguments, I can call you Egwene and Nynaeve then, right?
But me?
Not you.
Me and Kai. Yeah.
Friends.
You want to be called Elaine?
The hunt for the
Horn of Valyr awaits.
The Horn of Valyria. Oh no.
On the road
Wait,
with the
pause.
Shinarans from Faldara, and they are on the hunt for the Horn of Valyr.
Pause.
Well, you see, Dunn is like another country away, so it takes time for him to respond.
Where are their brands for the Hunt of Valyr? We see that's a thing in this fucking show. Where are they all branded? Did they do it somewhere we can't see? Did they get a brand on their fucking butt?
I guess it's just a Kyrian thing.
Fucking stupid.
Hey, maybe that's Rand's brand.
In her trademark blue, and she's doing hard physical labor. We see a very intimate moment where Moraine reveals to us the grief
very
of
much
losing one part
these
and
performances,
how
these
soul-crushing
faces.
that is for an Aes Sedai. We see Moraine and Lan staying in a kind of safe house with Verin and Adelaus. It's a place of books, of learning. It's a place where Moraine can also swat up on Prophecies of the Dragon, try and figure out what her next move is going to be. Moraine, she is like a stubborn teenager in some respect.
Pause.
What?
Fucking
A stubborn teenager.
You're the mentor character is a stubborn teenager. Good work.
Gandalf is a stubborn teenager.
No. He's Gandalf Light, right? Isn't that what you called her, Trip?
Obi-Wan Kenobi is stubborn.
Just great to see their thought process on writing Moraine. Genuinely, I would honestly, I think a teenager would be more competent. Because I think a teenager understands that you have to pay for what you buy.
This is the worst writer in America.
Ow, Jesus. You raised my ear.
Somebody needs to track down a fairy and have that fairy wave a magic wand and turn this movie into an actual person so that I can kick its fucking ass.
That guy has more emotion.
You're done, Tori. You have now used up your quota for this particular moment.
That guy had more emotion than this entire show had in like a couple of episodes.
Emotion. Didn't you see Nynaeve reeing? That's an emotion.
So by the way, you know that man. That's Confused Matthew. Talking about Transformers 3, which I think that both you and him can agree on.
All right, let's move away from Transformers.
She leaves Lan at Tiffin's
Why is
world.
the
She doesn't want Lan to be forced to protect her out of duty when she no longer has the power to connect with him through the bond. She doesn't want him to die for her, and she's convinced that she's going to die.
The big gap has grown between her
God, it just kills me how through all these little behind the scenes and all the little interviews that they have done and the articles and all that bullshit, how it's all about, oh my God, and it was so wonderful to just like deep dive into these characters and explore their emotions and the trauma that they're going through. And I just wasn't prepared to have to do this when I took this part. And yeah, you weren't prepared because that's not who they fucking are, you fucking idiots.
Also,
Okay.
I need to use this more frequently.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
I was gonna bring that up. Fucking most of that was just fucking them just emoting a lot, because I didn't really get when I was watching these episodes that what did she just say? Because now I just lost my train of thought on that.
Dive into their character, which is no, you really don't. You've never deep dive into any bit of their character at all. You like to say a lot of shit, but you really do not give time to any of these characters to actually develop them. You just waste it so fucking badly. And
you know what? Sorry.
Nope, you go first.
No, I was just going to say real quick that if they really want to learn how to do this, why don't they watch Heath Ledger as Joker if they want to talk about somebody doing a deep dive into a fucking character they're playing?
Oh yeah, that man legitimately could be considered a little bit crazy in how he deep dive into his character, just going off fucking script and doing whatever the fuck he thought that character would do.
I'm gonna fucking Kermit murder myself for this, but I honestly think David Benioff could have done better.
White, just.
I mean, hold on, hear me out. There is one thing I can say: pacing. There we go. That's the end of it.
I think Heath Ledger's Joker was a fine performance, and some of the stuff I've heard behind the scenes is crazy, but also damn talented.
Yeah, so compared to the Wheel of Time writers, I would rather take fucking David Benioff.
Yeah, because at least David Benioff was at least faithful to somewhat to the first few books. And then he just went completely off script when he went mad with power.
There's a lot to say about Game of Thrones and how the fuck they managed to do it more or less pretty well for 4 seasons and then went on a decline. But I could say, for one, they were not malicious about it ever until the end. That's just laziness. This show is malicious now. And two, nope, you go.
I can't believe I'm actually defending the fucking final 2 seasons of Game of Thrones because at least there's something there, and this is just trash fire. Like, I don't even know how long like the season 7 or 8 meandered, but I don't even think it did it that much. It was just a lot of stupid decision making. But at least we weren't in a room for like fucking a whole season doing that. Not a whole episode.
Wheel of Prime has broken White so badly that he will actually make a few excuses for Game of Thrones. Oh my god.
It is worse. Here's the thing. The writers in this show seriously... The reason...
mentally deficient.
Now, David Benioff were also mentally deficient, but it's like the difference between someone doing shit randomly and then people who are actively trying to make something bad. David Benioff got just really lazy and rushed, as well as being stupid.
I can make another comparison. Game of Thrones was the Titanic. The Wheel of Time was the Lusitania.
I don't know what Lusitania is.
Lusitania was it was a steamship from the Cunard Line that struck a mine that was sunk by a German U-boat during the First World War and sunk in 20 minutes. It was about the same size as Titanic and Titanic.
Wait,
So obviously,
White. How about Wheel of Prime is the Costa Concordia?
no, fucking like a lot of people died and from like Lusitania. Costa Concordia is that's too generous. That ship took time to sink. This show sank on the first episode.
Wait, did you say Lusitania or Britannia?
I was talking about the pure incompetence that caused it.
Oh, if you're going that way, yeah. I mean, Titanic was more just dumb luck, anti-luck.
And then, well, I know Britannia got sunk by a landmine because that's one of the 3 ships of the
Britannic.
Pride of the White Star Line. Britannic, yeah. That one got sunk by a landmine. Titanic, iceberg, and then Olympia managed to not sink.
No, she got scrapped in the 30s.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Lan away.
I want to see if we can watch all of the.
So Moraine leaves in the dead of night, and she's attacked by Fades, and it's a
I'm gonna make the second book real quick. So Moraine has lost her ability to use the one power due to the fucking shield, and here's the fucking thing. What? That is just one of the most moronic decisions you could do. Yes, I know she's a moron. Don't care. You are currently at your most defenseless. Why the fuck are you not using your warder? You are willing to let him die when you are having the demigod powers, and you can make him basically redundant in most circumstances, but you're not going to use him when you're currently using nothing but a fucking knife that you're currently not that honestly great at using.
Hey, she was trying to enter Arya Stark. Give her a break.
Shut the fuck up. Arya Stark runs circles around goddamn moron. She just fucking slit someone's throat and just there's nothing. Just look, Moraine is not a fighter. She does not know how to use her fucking blades and shit any more than goddamn warders who do it all the goddamn time. Why is she pushing Lan away? Because she's an idiot? Yes. Continue. Just continue.
Hey, she knows how to kill people. She knows where to stick them at the pointy end. All right, give him a break.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Frightening episode for her. I mean, she's without the one power, and she has to confront the most dangerous, powerful creature.
Pause.
Fuck you! 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 Fuck you!
Faith legitimately become. They kind of become more of henchmen by book 3, or even book 3 or.
I would say book 5.
Yeah, because you two could never agree on a fucking thing. It's hilarious.
So they're intimidating in book 1. They're still intimidating in book 2. It's part of how the Fades gain nails the doors impactful. I don't think Fades come up much in Dragon. Well, they come a little bit, and it's for Perrin, which is still difficult.
At the very
the Shadow Rising.
The very beginning.
Yeah, with Perrin. I don't think they show up much in Dragon Reborn. They show up in the beginning of the Shadow Rising, as well as with Matt when they attack the camp.
And the war in the Two Rivers.
Yes. I say
Is it
Fires of Heaven works, yeah. Because at that point, all of the characters are capable of killing one. Sorry, White, continue.
Is it bad?
There's also the element of they don't really show up. Well, Shadow Spawn barely feature in
for a while.
7 through 11.
10. They show up in 11.
That's what I say, like through 11. So, like 11 is when they actually do show up.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do break.
There's
Go for it.
Long time without them.
I find it probably you guys are probably gonna fucking croak over when I say this, but I feel like if I ever go into the book series, I'm probably just gonna do an audiobook, 'cause that pretty much is the only way I can get past the book anymore these days. Is that I'm gonna have the visuals of the fucking TV show in my head.
I already have that problem. And if you do listen to the audiobooks, White, get the oh my god, get the originals. Yeah,
the new ones from the
lady who. Yeah.
I hate all audiobooks, so I just don't have a stance beyond.
Was something we really wanted to get into the show. It's an homage to the one chapter that Moraine and Lan have in book 2, where
that's not a fade.
Fuck off, Rafe.
Yeah, I actually have a clip for that.
I beg your pardon.
Of course, it's all homages. It's always homages. It's never actually the fucking thing. It's always a fucking homage.
That is just goddamn ridiculous.
Moraine was actually attacked by something called a Dehurig.
It's actually
nice to know.
I think it's a really important thing to see that warders are important to their Aes Sedais in a combat.
Oh my
in
god!
Terms of how they make creatures that are
You're trying to give me heart failure, aren't you?
Shadow and potentially be very, very difficult for an Aes Sedai to kill.
We've seen Moraine lose her power at the end of season 1, so we see a completely different Moraine, a Moraine who has to use her wits, who doesn't have
any
tremendous power that she's enjoyed for so many years at her fingertips anymore.
Yeah, which is also not Moraine. Book Moraine gets shielded or loses her power or whatever. She doesn't melt into an emotional blob of goo like I do.
But you're fucking wrong! You're so fucking wrong! You're wrong! You're lying!
It's just no fuck. And Moraine, maybe if you showed in this damn show that Moraine actually could have difficulty defending herself from like a fist of Trollocs, which we don't believe. Yeah, you do just make her overpowered. While in the show, she did have to use other methods over than just straight up killing them all.
So what you're saying is that these people who would like to make this very obvious political statements just depowered a woman, just made her objectively a worse, just like mentally stable person in the show compared to their book counterpart. It's glorious.
They have unironically done this multiple times for multiple characters in the show, a lot of them female. Nynaeve being the most recent big one, because they unironically took her fucking scene and made her not succeed. They actively made her fail. I don't understand it.
They're so incompetent they can't even make their politics work.
What the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
Yes. Fucking yes, I am Walter White. I am the one who knocks on your dick fucking skull.
But I have enjoyed presenting Moraine's true courage because she's going up against people who would be far stronger than her if she did have the power.
Lies.
Sit down and shut the fuck up.
Dunn, you should clip the new meme I got.
I feel like Dunn can never express his own anger and has to use other people's.
My anger is quite hot, and I feel like this encapsulates it.
Hey,
Exactly my point, and that you cannot express that yourself. You must use other movies.
I feel like after I get enough through season 1, I should clip a bunch of scenes together or just meme it to hell.
I
Please
think that would be hilarious. Yeah.
Join the club. I would love to see that.
We all fucking memed him to hell. My current one that I've never done is I wanted to make a dance scene with Perrin killing his wife, where I edited it so it keeps going back and forth into her, well, music in the background.
You just do a reverse shot, and you just keep stabbing her.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, has White ever seen the White Cloaks, Dana, the Dark Friend?
We might have showed him.
Friend.
I don't know.
I don't remember if we showed it to him. We showed it to Codex, but
for Rand, we find him in
That's fine. We can get it.
different, living differently, kind of trying to hide who he is.
Okay, I gotta talk about the set design there. Like, what the fuck is that set design? They're trying to mix a medieval castle with Japanese building tops. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is some lazy ass fucking art direction going on here.
Trip, I do have pleasant news, and the fact that if you look up Dana the Darned on YouTube, it is the first result.
Is it? Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Yes. Here's the link. Done. Play it for him. Let's have this as a small palate cleanser. While
After that, just go back to the earlier bit there where they're showing the entrance to that town or whatever. It's literally just a medieval castle with a fucking Japanese building top stapled on top of it. Just fucking
what
stupid.
Is this up to now? 1.8K views?
Yes, 1.8. It's their most popular video.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I seen this, not this bit.
Keep
I like how he's doing this, but she's just not doing anything.
It's still so funny.
Yep.
Quad Pip did a good job with this.
Yep.
Why are you so worried about her trying to kill you? She's just been standing there even when she had the chance.
I have this song saved on my playlist. I don't know where the fuck it went. It's been so long since I heard it.
Real time pacing in a nutshell.
Oh god. Okay, so I don't know if they'll show it in this behind the scenes, but they did bring somebody, on the other server that I look at sometimes. They brought up in the branding scene for the Horn of Valir for the hunters, there is a freaking alpaca in Kyrian. We got a camel in Tarvalon, and now we get an alpaca in Kyrian.
I think they're trying to say we are in South America.
Oh no, but that is actually really funny.
So when he's gone to Kyrian, is that he wants to talk to Loghain Eblar, who was the false dragon, who's being held in a sanitarium in Kyrian.
Which is
the big stories for Rand is that he encounters this mysterious woman, Selene.
And we find that he's having kind of a relationship with Selene.
No, he's not. Oh, in the show, you mean? Yeah.
It just is.
Sleeping with and trying to forget Egwene.
We don't even see it. It just happens.
That he used to have.
A lot of things just happen. And you don't know why.
Such a horrible character assassination. Oh my gosh.
It is so telling that the way to describe Selene is this older, sexy, mature character. That's what you've reduced Lanfear to. That's it. That's what's important about her. Not the manipulation, not the power hungry, not the arrogance. Just sexy, older, and mature.
Yeah, Lanfear would like that just as much as Ishmael would love the fact that we all call him Ishi now.
Yes. Yeah, she is a goddamn rage monster, Lanfear. She almost fucking kills Asmodee for using her real name.
So I know Trip might kill me for saying this, but when I first saw that scene, I was like, "Yeah, that's definitely Trip."
Sexy older mature woman.
I won't kill you for saying that. Yeah,
that is a good description of her. Sexy, older, and mature. Well, the mature one is debatable sometimes, but she does have her moments.
Really? Fuck off! I'm mature.
I can legit find quotes of you saying otherwise.
Yeah, and you manipulate shit. It's a lie. It's all a lie.
Sure.
So it's all slander.
Yes, slander. I slanderized Trip.
Someone I wish I could forget.
We do meet a whole host of new characters at the beginning of season 2.
And honestly, the way the show has done it, what is mysterious about the fact that Rand goes to a city, finds an older woman, and fucks her for room and board? What is mysterious about that in the show? She doesn't even do anything funky until at the very end when she ties him up and climbs on top of him like a fucking succubus.
Some people would argue that's to have the surprise factor be greater, but the surprise factor was never that big with Celine. We all could tell something was funny with her. Yet her reveal is not any less impactful, that confirmation, because we know it's her. And her revealing that has its impact because we know her reputation. And if she's no longer caring to keep up the act, that means something. It means something for Lanfear to be like, yeah, fuck it, I am Lanfear. Fuck
they
off.
Are fast.
This is mine.
Yeah, they are massively fast tracking a lot of crap from,
and
even
it
just book. Sorry, go for it.
And like you're saying that they're fast tracking a whole lot of shit, but it's like when you watch the show, it certainly doesn't feel like it half the fucking time. I feel like we're just meandering along, and then they're like, all right, we gotta speed this stuff up, but we gotta be slow as fucking molasses over here.
Well, here's the thing. Dunn's a bit incorrect in the fact they're fast tracking shit. They're not fast tracking anything because they're not even using what they have. They're making new shit up. They might be fast tracking their own shit. I could see that, but they're not. Saying they're fast tracking shit from the books is implying they're even using anything from it. What about Celine? Is it all like Celine from the books or Lanfear?
Well, none of it is similar. I grant you. It's just that they're migrating Rand finding out that she is Lanfear 2 books early. That's what I mean by fast tracking. So
well, yeah, they're pulling shit from the end of the series into different places. I mean, they're pulling in, God, there was one particular thing, but now I can't remember what it was.
Rand's an epiphany.
Maybe, but I think there was something to do with Lanfear too. But look at them pulling in the Saw, however you pronounce that.
Yeah, that's many books early. At least Lord of Chaos. Wait.
Which, okay, so I am going to say, because everybody knows how I feel about the show, I do get why they might need to do that in certain instances. Because it's 14 fucking books, right? I mean, there's a lot of shit that can easily be cut out, like the whole fucking Fail thing that I think Shai just slogged through. There's a lot of shit that can be trimmed down, but even then, yes, there's a lot of little side quests that were very cool, but would be hard, to contain in the amount of time that they have. So I do understand that, but it makes no sense with the way they're doing certain shit, like with Lanfear. Like with Matt and Min. I mean, they're completely and totally just
making new shit.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just, the whole Matt Min thing just has me so fucking irritated.
They say they constantly say how they cannot do everything in the books because they're trying to save time, but they make new shit, which would just defeat the purpose. If time's really a constraint, why do you keep adding new stuff that makes no sense? And with the saw, like, yeah, there's probably times that you could have it be seen. Ishmael, probably you could make it so he has a saw in his eyes. Though I would say specifically you should do that with Ishmael, not Lanfear. And definitely not when she's being fucking brought back to life in a way that makes no sense, because that's not how being brought back to life works for the Forsaken. Because you really... It's like with the parent sight thing that they did. It confuses people so much. Because no one has a single clue what you're trying to do with that. Not even book readers.
Especially not book readers.
But she can read.
Yeah.
Because that's the saw is a
kind of effectively bunking with Egwene.
You know, they say that some of the greatest pairings in the history of the world were formed between novices in adjacent rooms. Don't you wonder what the future might hold for us?
One of the great things we get to do in season 2 is open up the world in so
That
many
was
ways, but that also
necessary.
includes seeing more of the White Tower, seeing the hierarchy, seeing the sort of the process it takes to become an Aes Sedai.
When my sister's asking if you're ready, I suggest
Is
you
it
say
needed?
yes. Then our work can begin.
Nynaeve has
Is
a
it
sort of
need-
rightful suspicion of Leandrin. You know, Leandrin is clearly trying to use Nynaeve for her own ends.
We
and
want to show
Nynaeve
you all this
wants to have
stuff,
more information about this woman.
but
before
we're
she
not going to
seeds it out to trust
focus on what's actually important, though.
Also,
None
pause.
of this
What-
is in the show, and
Yeah,
I'm going
what
to use the
amends?
clip because I feel like it's relevant.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
Yeah.
All right, my Game of Thrones rage is starting
What?
to come back. Stop.
What own ends, you fucking morons? We don't even know what Leandrin wants. We don't know what anyone in the show fucking wants, except maybe Ishmael, because he wants to release the Dark One, and that's basically it. Even that you've kind of fucking muddled. Or Pat and Fane. Hell, actually, screw that. What the fuck does Pat and Fane want? He doesn't want to kill Rand, otherwise why the fuck haven't you just gone to Karheim and slashed him? It's not like Rand's all that powerful. It's been 5 months. What are you doing? Rand's not even following you. What are you trying to do?
Well, I think one of the things I've found, especially now, that irritates me the worst is they've taken all of the foreshadowing from the books and turned them into fake outs in the show. And
Yeah, I
they
mentioned-
seem to think that that's like smart and engaging and all of that, when it's just, what? You know, now I watch a scene and I go, well, I know this isn't going to be what they're trying to present it as. And that's every scene, every character, every death, every mystery box, everything. It's just a fake out. Their marketing is just all fake out. So it's like, if it wasn't for what we do, you know, because of Wheel of Prime and what they've done to the IP, I would just be like, well, I sure as hell am not watching this show anymore, because it's all just a fake out.
Yeah. I mentioned it
You know-
earlier, but this show makes all the foreshadowing in the books into Easter eggs. They make it lesser actively.
Inspiring. Have you seen the Halo TV show, or any like the first episode?
I've seen the review of it. Why?
Because this definitely comes across as it's very familiar to me. Because I don't know the books of this, but like the amount of stuff you guys are talking about, like all the stuff they didn't adapt, and I'm like thinking about the fucking Halo TV show, and it's like very similar vibes I'm getting. And I even think the Halo TV show is much worse than this in regards to the lore and stuff, because, you know, like there is some like outline that they're following with this show, but with the Halo show they just went somewhere else completely.
Honestly, White, what you've just said about the Halo TV show follows for this one. They're not following an outline. They've honestly fucked it up so badly. There's a good chunk of a place in book 1 just isn't in the show yet. They mentioned it, and also, yeah, stupid line they did where they're like, Caemlyn's the biggest kingdom in the world. I'm like, I think 1, the Senchan might be bigger, and 2, I don't think that's true.
Senchan isn't, well, technically Andor is biggest landmass wise and rich wise. Andor in weight as the highest denomination is a pretty good indicator of how much power it has. But
you just
sorry, go for it.
I think
You just reminded me of something a better show I could be watching right now. Yeah.
I think Sanshan's still technically bigger since they're just another bloody continent.
Oh, Shanshan still counts. It's just that nobody knows about Shanshan yet. So
true. This is the writer saying it. Is a stupid thing.
I love all the things they talk about in the behind the scenes that were never in the show. It's my favorite.
Room, and she sees Leandrin seemingly administering this deadly powder to an elderly man.
What are you doing here?
Leandrin is traumatized that she's been caught in the act. Not because she was actually trying to do harm to this man, but because she's been exposed in her darkest secret, which is the fact that she has a son. And this elderly man is in fact her child. What seems like an act of cruelty is in fact an act of kindness as she's trying to spare the man's pain.
You should at least not.
I might have been naked.
Oh, my heart flutters at the thought.
Oh my god. Leandrin doesn't know what kindness is, and she doesn't know what flirty banter with a man is either.
She hates men. There are some Reds who could do that with, but not Leandrin. She is one of those that is dead set on just murdering every man she comes across.
Yeah.
She is a sadist.
Oh, watch. Next they'll have Elida flirting with a man.
That would be freaking hilarious.
Wouldn't it? We just had fucking Leandra doing it. So.
Well, here's the thing. At least if they do that, we can genuinely say they just turned a lesbian straight, since we know Eladia has pillow friends.
I honestly, when I first saw that character, I wanted to fucking cartwheel with the traffic. The fucking bitch with the red fucking dress.
If I can remember it, I'm stealing that phrase because that's a good one, White.
Yeah, White is actually full of good phrases. That's
sense of joy and lightness, and
no, he doesn't.
he's a
In what
character
universe?
who doesn't believe that he's a hero, even
Oh,
though
this
he
shit.
really is.
So you're the possum that's been scratching at my wall.
Pairing him up with Min really lets us show.
Matt, it's not a case of Matt doesn't believe he's a hero. He doesn't want to be a hero. Right there. Rafe
Hero gets
just
killed.
literally laid out that he doesn't fucking understand Matt at all. Move on. I'll just bitch through it playing. You don't have to pause.
Never forgetting.
I want it
things that
paused.
he's dealing with, but a lot of their scenes this season are fun.
It's been a while since I've had a chat with someone.
Sorry, are you coming on to me?
Oh, please, move.
Oh, come on!
Pause. Of course, the fucking scene they reference as fun is a fucking sex one.
Oh, come on! That was just actually gross. I want to throw up.
What is wrong with you, Rafe? Genuinely, I'm asking. What is wrong with you? Why do you seem to be more goddamn perverted than anyone I have ever met? And I literally hang out with friends whose manner of humor is just saying the word "cum" constantly.
Honestly, I just for the last week I just caught COVID for like the last week, and I've just been in a fucking weird state of mind for like the last week. Honestly, I would rather go through that again than do this. Listen to these fucking retards speak.
You know why? I also had COVID the past week, and I gotta say, I partly agree.
Pieces of the season, which is the battle at Atuan's Mill. It's always important to me to be able to find the emotional path through a fight or battle sequence and what the characters are experiencing emotionally as we go through it.
Oh, fuck off.
Seriously?
Oh, hi, Codex.
Yeah. That's seriously something they're just gonna repeat constantly, right? What they're going through emotionally through it. Yeah, what they're going emotionally through it is, fuck, I need to stay the goddamn alive. Or rage.
Is also nowhere to be found in this film.
Just, what emotion do we see while we get the dump? Codex will speak when he wants. He's going to be muted.
What is his avatar? I always wanted to know.
I think
It's
it's
from
something from
Warhammer.
goddamn Warhammer.
God damn it! Every time, because I'm on the Noble server a lot. I mean, I'm on his server. I'm not in there a lot, but every time I join the voice chat to chat with one of the guys, they're always talking about 40K or cars, and that just drives me nuts.
Yeah, well, you're always talking about fucking Star Wars.
Or Game of Thrones.
Star Wars is interesting. Ain't
Star Wars.
I'm pointing
out the irony.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, that is fair, but I haven't been talking about Game of Thrones as much lately. I actually been focusing on other things like John Wick and shit.
Yeah.
By the way, hi Kodak.
It's
the scene did an excellent job of keeping us with Perrin, and then finding the right moments when we can hand off and be with Loyal, with Ingtar, with Uno during that fight. It's really important the audience has this experience through all of them.
Of what? Perrin
What
being
experience?
fucking useless? That's what
being
you wanted us to have the experience of.
I have the experience of being lulled into a fucking coma.
Once you begin,
so that was fun.
Pause.
Personally, I think my new name for Rafe ought to just be Betrayer of Hope.
Yes, let's do that. But
I was just thinking, raper of dreams.
We want to. No, done. We need to be book accurate with our insults to make it clear how much he isn't. So, done. Question. So, Game of Thrones had similar of these with the behind the scenes kind of commentaries. What was their average length before like season 8?
4 is actually the consistent length for inside the episodes, and that continues with House of the Dragon.
Just checking, cause
admittedly, whenever Miguel Sapochnik opened his mouth, he came out sounding like an idiot. Same with most of the female writers on that show. Whenever they talked on the inside the episodes,
it was so bizarre. I do remember some of that, and it's funny because I hardly remember shit. And when it comes to behind the scenes shit, it was the whole the choice scene where it's like, oh, this is a symbolisms for women's rights or something like that, and it's like the context is completely fucking different than what they're talking about. Like, what the fuck you on about?
Because there's such little content and progress that happens in these episodes, and I was just thinking 4 minutes, and how much do they actually cover? Do they manage to? Because 4 minutes is not a lot of time to talk about anything, but I imagine in a show with like much more content, like Game of Thrones, they had a lot more to say than what they do.
I also find it funny that they have to explain a whole lot of what happens in the show because they don't bother explaining anything in the show.
Yeah, that's a
watching it.
Thing.
I said to White, admittedly, I like 40K more than I like Star Wars. A lot more, because it's more my jam. But don't worry, I am not profaning your sacred cow and mine.
I am. 40K can go suck a dick. It's just a bunch of goddamn grimdark nonsense. Granted, Star Wars is not much better right now, but it has some of the EOS stuff I would gladly read more than anything from fucking 40K. Go suck a dick on that one. Who the fuck am I hearing in the back?
Season 2 that deepens our understanding of the One Power.
Really?
No, it doesn't.
Really? What?
What?
Oh, you know what? Would you stop that, Kai? Just stop it.
I agree with that, but also that you have to admit that first what was perfect. It was.
Okay, that's the same. I did the same thing on another time when he showed me one of his reviews.
Yeah.
That one wasn't recorded. That was just us hanging out. And yeah, I have to admit it was kind of hilarious. Everything I fucking said, he said like 10 seconds later in the review, and I wanted to kill myself.
I remember that happening. But also, so what the fuck does that Aves test tell you about the One Power, you goddamn ignorant god? I'm going to look up Wheel of Time curses to use during this so I can censor myself.
Dirty goat essing sheep eeps swiller.
Oh, are you trying to say sheep fucker? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm thinking
he is one, so no. You goose brain, light brained fool shit.
For a start, this Nynaeve's
Flaming Woolhead.
I think one of the iconic moments in book 2 is Nynaeve going through the arches, and we really wanted to take almost intact from the books and find a way to put it into the show.
They actually kind of started out okay with that. They did with the arches. But why didn't they just stick to what her tests were? I mean, I know they couldn't do the first one.
Is close enough so that it's close enough. It's empty, but it's close. Like it was decently close, and then it went off the rails with the first thing.
Almost 20 minutes just of Nynaeve doing the test of the arches, and it really breaks format for the show in a good way, because I think that break in format will also reinforce for the audience how important this moment is and what it means to Nynaeve long term.
And you make her fail.
What's interesting about it is Nynaeve has very much.
I try really hard to not make fun of actual people. And every time I hear him talk, I want to make fun of the way he talks.
Since that's kind of... Go for it.
You sound like a... You sound like a fucking soy cuck.
Funny you use that to reuse it.
I was actually going to say the same thing. He kind of has that typical gay man voice. Soy boy gay
Where's
guy
your
voice.
clip? Where's your
You
clip?
probably...
Your bag is being a soy boy beta cuck.
That's it.
I was about to say he probably came back from his local fucking wiener snitchels to come and write this show.
Well, and it's not even, I just feel I have to clarify this, okay? But it's not even, I have some really good friends who have very much the same way of talking and the mannerisms, and yes, because they're gay men, right? But there is just something about Rafe where I just want to,
I think
it's pretentious and disingenuous.
I guess I am
he
free.
turns me into a mean girl.
I'm just an asshole. I don't care. I just see a person. I'm like, haha, your face is ugly.
Kind of for me, I'm just like, you just kind of have this stereotypical voice, and I don't place any kind of value judgment on it. I just see it as the same.
Well, actually,
I never think of Rafe as gay because it's not something I think about. I just hate him as a person.
That too.
The archers, they are a test which novices have to take if they want to rise up the ranks to become an Aes Sedai and to become an accepted. And
okay,
the
pause on her. Seriously, she is a pretty woman.
Yes.
I mean, I know we've talked about that before, but literally, she is a pretty woman. Madeline, yeah, I can't think of her last name. I can't get it right. But yes, pretty women. And look what he does to them. Sorry, it still irritates the crap out of me.
Yeah. No, we know. It takes one to know one. You can recognize them.
Oh, whatever. Simp.
He did the same thing for fucking the Rose Tico actor. They fucking ruined the fucking Rose Tico actress from TOK.
That was the first example of that shit happening. It's so fucking weird.
When I saw the real actress, I'm like, holy shit! What the fuck did they do to you?
Yeah, because she's the same actress from Crazy Rich Asians, and she's a fucking hotshot.
Well, and it's okay if the character, if that's what needs.
Kelly Marie Tran or someone else? Since I don't remember Kelly Marie Tran being in Crazy Rich Asians.
I believe she is, because I think that's where I killed.
That's where he splurged, let's be honest.
Okay, well, while he is looking that up, my point was going to be that it's okay if the character itself calls for that. Like Charlize Theron in Crap when she played the serial killer. And crickets, because none of you are Eileen Wuornos. None of you even have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And that is a good frickin' movie.
Yeah, never had the chance.
Sorry,
it's a serial killer film.
Oh yes, I did that. I did that yesterday. I stabbed a box of Cheerios.
Yeah.
Different tests where you're faced with different fears from your past, present, and future, and they absolutely push you to your limit. And not many
fucking Reese again.
God, they fucked that up so bad.
By the way, pause.
So it's
that visual effect.
You already ranted about this, Shy.
But also one more thing that I didn't rant about. They make it so clear you cannot use the power in the arches whatsoever without any rule break. And then she just uses that at the end to get out by just bumping on all the Trollocs. In the books, it was more, don't do it.
She
it's
did do it in the books.
No, yes, I was getting to that. She does use it in the books, but one, she's not warned against it first, and two, it is clear it's a risk, not a guarantee. In the show, they do not explain. They just say you cannot use it, as if the power isn't even there with you. In the books, it's like,
I don't have a problem with her using the power in that scene because she did do it in the books, but it's because she used it to kill everything, and because they twisted the meaning of that last test. Which, yes, I know you ranted about that, and I agree with it. I'm just saying, I don't really have a big issue with the fact that she used the one power. It's just that with everything else, they totally twisted what happened and what it was supposed to mean.
Well, I'm commenting on the stuff around her usage of the one power, which just translated terribly. Like I said, they said you cannot use it, which, think of it as someone who hasn't read the books. That could mean you don't have access to it. And then as a big payoff, she just does. Meanwhile, in the book, she uses it and then is warned against it, saying if you use it, you could destroy your ability to use the one power. Not that you can't use it, but you really fucking don't want to.
But she committed
that's the big difference. It's like she just seems to break a rule they made, while in the book they made it clear you can. You're just doing a really big risk. It's a nitpick, granted.
To be Aes Sedai and live a life of service and sacrifice.
And when Leandrin says to her before she goes into the arches,
if you are doing this for someone else, you will fail. Do this for you. Or not at all.
It ends up being quite prophetic, because I believe that Nynaeve's going in there more than anything because she wants to stay at the tower for Egwene.
Oh, that's a drastic misinterpretation of Nynaeve. Nynaeve is a petty, petty woman.
I also want to point out the words he uses. He thinks. The writer for the show thinks this character is doing something. Not that he knows, is that he thinks.
That is a.
You wrote this. You don't even know your character.
Yes. Her. It's explored why she is in the tower due to her disdain for Aes Sedai. It is a thing.
She also hates Moraine. She wants to hurt Moraine. That's her primary motivation.
Yeah, I was about to mention that's one of her big things. It's honestly a really bitter reason. She just wants to. One is Moraine, and the other is healing. Those are her two main reasons. As well as, it also is partly for Egwene, because she still holds responsibility for her, and wants to help the Emmonsfielders, and thinks that the best way to do that is by learning how to use the one power and becoming Aes Sedai. She has multiple reasons, because she's a complex, layered character. And meanwhile, you are less than a single-dimensioned fool.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about the moment where the furry guy killed his wife, and then fucking I just think of the Yoda death scream from fucking Lego Star Wars when she dies.
You referenced thing I have no experience with. Continue, Dunn.
You haven't seen the first episode?
I've seen the first episode. I don't know Lego Star Wars.
Low Egwene was taken.
You don't know the Lego death
episode 202,
okay.
And then she's immediately asked to go into the arches.
What did you make me do? Your fears are your own property, child.
And so you see what women who can channel the one power and are given the title of Aes Sedai have to bear. And we also obviously start to delve into what the male half of the power looks like.
Excuse me, as if regular women and people and men don't have just as much shit to bear? What, we don't have dreams from our past and our subconscious doesn't fuck with us? And really, fuck off, Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of you.
I think it's fun that you find Perrin with this group of guys on a traditional hunt for the Horn of Valere that is this incredibly valuable object in the world of the Wheel of Time.
And then
Is it
smash
really?
straight up against and into the Shan-Chan world.
Avert your eyes and kneel.
Traditional hunt.
Bloody well like that, wouldn't you?
Uno is this swirling dervish of energy, and he's a real fan favorite character. So it was important to us to.
It was important to me to fucking
audience
kill
who's
off
not
a fan
familiar
favorite
with the
because
books
I'm a
to be able
fucking
to fall in love
asshole.
with this character, as the book audience does. So
Just say it
important to
true,
us to be able
dude. That's probably one of the
get the
things that
audience who's
pisses
not
me off the
familiar
worst
with
about
the
him.
books to be able to
Just
fall in love with this
fucking
character
say
as
it
the book
true.
audience does. Then
Well, here's the thing.
obviously
He
in episode
effectively does in his
203,
stupid
Uno meets
way.
his demise.
It is
And
so
incredibly
clear.
dangerous, and we need to people.
I'm just laughing at the goofy ass fucking throne thing.
Just
We're
pause.
not terrified
Pause.
of the
To
Shan-Chan.
await and to serve.
You know how it would make the Shan-Chan terrifying? You just see them color a few Aes Sedai, you dimwit.
There's someone at the door.
It's early for a visitor. You look well, little sister.
The music's just kill it.
In episode 4, we see Moraine go home for the first time. She's like a kind of petulant child when she goes home, who doesn't want anything to do with the family, but of course she needs things from them.
She's like a perpetual child. Wow.
But I want to keep.
Did Moraine in the books ever act like a petulant child? Ever?
Never.
Amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
Why have they've in the show they constantly try to portray Moraine as this good, clever, super great person, but then in these things they constantly keep referring to her as petulant and immature. It's like, what the fuck are you trying to make her?
Because of the emotional journey that she has to go through. Okay,
People can do that
'cause
maturely.
Since all right, look who you're talking to. I was just going to say, you guys know me well and know my moodiness and know I can be petty. And sometimes my emotions rule what I say and I do. And yeah, I'm aware of it and I let it happen because I'm who I am, right? I'm bipolar fucking Barbie. But Moraine is not.
Yes. And you just say this right after I call to question your maturity and you give me shit for that.
Yeah, because I am what I just said I am.
I know. You know, me.
That's what just bugs me so much. Yeah.
Because, yeah, some people can be immature. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but Moraine's not one of them. She is an incredibly mature person in the book. She is the mentor. She is one of the best Aes Sedai in the fucking books.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Stop doing that.
Done. Dude,
I am going to fucking hurt you.
Done. You do cut people off. Tone it down. Continue.
It's me he's been cutting off tonight.
I know. That's why I'm telling him to tone it down.
No, I
Please
was just
do.
going to say that I don't think it even is a case of maturity. It's just simply a case of God, now I can't even talk. It's simply a case of like personality, how a person handles particular things or who they are. And yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I just don't think they even know what the fuck they're doing with her, since they seem like what they're saying here and what they seem to be wanting to portray is so contradicted. They never portray her with almost any fucking faults in the goddamn show. And yet here they clearly view her as this immature, petulant person who is kind of an ass, which is what they made her to be. But they don't seem to recognize that in the show, and yet they seem to here. Just what are you trying to do here? Because I genuinely cannot tell.
Well, no, they're just trying to say that is how we go right back to their exploring the emotional journey, and that is how that's how trauma should be handled. Because believe me, I've seen enough comments from people who like the show and like what has been done to the characters that they love this because they truly believe that this is what trauma does to people. This is what PTSD is, and this is how it needs to be shown and how it needs to be handled. Because these are the same set of people that believe that Lan is pure toxic, evil masculinity.
And
this is why I wish. Yeah, and this is why I wish all of those people were beat more as a child, so they truly understood what trauma is. I'm gonna keep saying that.
Actually, some of them have been through trauma.
Oh, I'm sure some of them, but goddamn, a lot of them are just special snowflakes that don't know shit.
It's a societal thing that we're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now, but I am just saying that that's what the show is doing. They're not. It's another subset of bringing modern society and political politics. I'm getting tired and delirious. I'll just be quiet now. I think you know what I'm saying.
The ironic part is they're not even good at it.
It's crushing for her. It's like going back into a place that doesn't reflect you and yet is everything to do with how you were made. We see her in her childhood bedroom. We see a glimpse of
Well, I'm not
who
going to be
Moraine
quiet
was,
that
the
long.
sense of a
Wasn't
young
that
girl's
cute
life
how they
and
did the whole mirror thing when she said it doesn't reflect you? They're so deep and subtle and complex.
Indeed.
I feel like I'm being lulled into a coma listening to these people.
And we see her sister, who is obviously got a lot of feeling and a lot of hero worship there for her older sister.
A lot of
Moraine, but
feeling.
Moraine's not going to give her the time of day.
If you want me to apologize for leaving, I won't.
One thing that was really important to us this season was seeing how other Aes Sedai function in the world, not just with their sort of professional life of being Aes Sedai, but also in their personal lives, and understand how Moraine's the same.
Because we told her we needed this.
Episode 4 is our
so important to the
episode
story.
For seeing the Aes Sedai home life and compare and contrast between Alana, who has this big level.
Why is this necessary? Fuck off.
Aes Sedai's personal life is being Aes Sedai. It effectively becomes their entire life.
Yeah.
Look, a lot of them do different things with their free time, but they're all still being Aes Sedai. It's just some of them will be hunting men, some of them will be researching, some of them will be doing politics and negotiating. None of them just do nothing. Ever.
It's like they don't even want to follow. They don't even want to do with anything like with those book storylines. They just want to go through like everybody's mundane day-to-day lives or some shit in this world for some reason.
It is unironically very fan-fiction-y in how they treat this. We're like, oh, look at what these people do in their free time.
I did see a comment somewhere. I don't even know where anymore, but I did see a comment about how what we're seeing in the show are all the things that took place off the page in the books, which is very true. But we're not what took place on the page in the books. It's like they went, oh, we're gonna go tell the everything else, and it's all made up shit that we're making, because it's not on the page, but it's not on the page because it's not fucking interesting, okay?
Not just
and
that,
it's
it
not
contradicts.
relevant to the fucking story.
You only read a page or chapter would be about someone's day-to-day lives is to like get to know the characters or like to get to know the characters in like the first fucking chapter, but not this.
Who she is, and Moraine, who literally hasn't seen her family for decades.
Okay, what does her family have any relevance?
And when she finally drops into this world, you've seen that city for 3 episodes previously, but I think when you are looking at it in episode 4 now in the context of Moiraine being from there, there's all kinds of things that start to make sense. Some of the women wear kissieres, some of them have golden leaf on their ear.
Why is this even relevant? Why do we need any of this?
No, you're going to get shit from me, you goddamn man-child. The colors of Carahine are black and gray, and then a multitude of the colors depending on their fucking house. This is a consistent thing throughout the entire fucking book series, because that's their goddamn culture. That's how they fucking show their nobility, you goddamn lousy fuck. The goddamn earrings, you can do what you fucking want with, but god damn it, that is not from the books. You're just making that shit up because you for some reason have a weird earring fetish, and I like earrings, so you can screw off before you ruin those.
I kind of like even taking all that in consideration, like how all that's practically irrelevant to like any main storyline information. Like, no, we need to know the earrings. I'm like, what? Why don't we focus on the important stuff? No, guys, the earrings.
Like that's the kind of detail I'd focus on in my writing as like a minor detail that I like to keep consistent, but that's probably the deepest he's ever fucking gone in that little brain cavity.
Well, okay, to be fair, Jordan was very detailed in it, in the dresses and the different
styles.
Well, yeah, and the cultures and all of that. I mean, he made those very delineated in his world. So, you have to be fair about that. But that's also another problem is it's like, okay, he was so detailed about that. Why didn't you fucking use that in the show? Do the Kyrian have the stripes for social standing?
Yes.
No. Not in the show they don't.
Not in the show. In the books they do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, whether people want to accept that a world could be that way, there were all the different nations were very much I never say the word right. You guys know what word I want, that we always complain about the 2 rivers. About Eamon's Field, homogenous,
multiculturalism.
Well, yeah, or homogenous. So you could pretty much tell by looking at somebody and what they were wearing and how they spoke. Pretty much, you knew where they came from, but no, they can't follow that. They have to try to make it. A fucking. That's why fantasy. I get so irritated when they start talking about this shit because it's like, you had a blueprint.
You literally
I gave you a blueprint to build, a 3-story, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house with a 2-car garage, and you built me a fucking little love
outhouse
shack.
I was thinking an outhouse does that work too.
That's they have so much.
That's what they built. They built Tommy Wiseau's producer outhouse.
Oh God, I did mention Tommy Wiseau in some chat or other that I was watching, like Prophet or something. I don't remember what it was in regards to, but I think I said something along the lines of, I'd almost rather watch fucking Tommy Wiseau than I'd watch this shit. But don't take that to heart, Kai, because it ain't happening.
We need to watch Best Friends.
No,
We need to watch it.
I just said don't take
How
it
about-
to heart.
How about we watch The White Hunt or something?
No.
So
So,
what?
anyways,
The White Hunt.
I don't even want to know that the man made any other kind of fucking.
I think he's Game of Thrones.
It's the Game of Thrones.
He means that specific. He means that shit that he hates the most.
Blue and black, and it is Moraine's city in that way, both
Shut the
visually
fuck
and
up.
spiritually, because it is a
Pause.
highly political, highly manipulative.
Is that pause? So is that one? Yeah, fuck you. Two, is that seriously why you made Kyra Hines colors black and blue? Because that's how Moraine often wears in the fucking books? That's seriously what your fucking logic was. Moraine's city, therefore it has Moraine's colors. Like, that's the most important part of Cairhine, is that fucking Moraine was there.
Kyrian.
Kyrian.
Yeah. Apparently, yes.
That's just so fucking...
Freaking stupid.
I want you castrated. I want you removed from the gene pool, and then I want your soul cast into goddamn pits of hell, so it may never be reborn.
I'm just imagining Aspiring. He's like redheaded right now. He's like about to pop like a fucking balloon.
I goddamn hate. Look, just I hate the logic. I hate the reasoning. It's not even that they do something stupid, it's the why that makes it so much fucking worse. Why? I was like, why did you change the colors of that? What possible reason? Oh, it literally just, my favorite characters from there, so I gave her her colors. Fuck you.
It's very much...
Goddamn.
Most of all, these performances, these faces.
No. Therefore, you are just the worst goddamn human, and I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. Done or Wraith.
They're about equal sometimes.
I'm not as evil.
That was rude.
I'm not that. I'm evil, but I'm not that evil.
Yes, you're not, but still, fuck off with the clip.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
You make us watch this.
Yeah.
You came in voluntarily.
I despise.
We all did.
We treat episode 204 for Nynaeve almost like a miscarriage story.
What?
He unmuted. Codex unmuted.
I'm
What?
sorry. Did I have a fucking stroke? Can you play that again?
You know. Wait, no.
Visually
I
and
know
spiritually,
why.
because it
I
is
know
a
why.
highly political, highly manipulative place.
It's because her child died in the fake place. That's why. They saying it's a miscarriage story because her fake child died. You fucking idiots! You didn't do that at all.
Where's the abortion?
I fucking mentioned this. I said, oh, they don't realize what they've done with Nynaeve and how they had her spend potential years with this life and family. But no, not only do they seem to kind of know that, they also just didn't fucking do it at all and then said, oh yeah, we totally did that. It's a miscarriage story. We gave her a child and it killed her. And then we just had her be all sad and mopey an entire episode for no fucking reason. How the fuck am I supposed to know she's mourning the goddamn child? All you do is sad face and have her say nothing more, and then suddenly she wants to go save fucking Perrin because, I don't know, does she view them as her kids? I can't tell in this fucking show because I don't know what the fuck she ever wants, you goddamn mental brains.
It kind of feels like I have a clip that's actually perfect.
But even I couldn't have come up with something like this.
By the way, I need to find new clips.
Just what the fuck?
Collection.
How they're calling it a miscarriage story? Oh, because her fake child died, which you didn't have to do, but you decided to do. Cause fuck you, I guess. I need to give you that clip. I need you to have the Mauler. Cause fuck you. Predator video.
Fuck you, that's why.
Freaking right.
of like a child that was lost, and that's what Nynaeve faces in episode 2.
Do you understand the definition of
the one who can kind of comfort her on that, and then ultimately betray her? I think makes that
he can't have kids. He
doesn't
know about that.
Just all the more rich, and it shows that
Rich.
I think Spiring just gonna fucking just KO himself right now.
It's rich like goddamn soil is rich, you fucking tard, because you put fucking fertilizer that's literal shit. Unfortunately, you also buried the goddamn soil under the goddamn fertilizer.
I'm afraid fertilizer actually has a function. This doesn't.
You boneheaded bulgoose fool.
All she has done in her life is protect others, and she will need to focus on herself and break down her block so that she can protect and help others.
No, you tard. You've seen me as a man. You're not a man, you fucking Randall simp. You are the sorriest excuse for a man in this show, and it's saying a lot, considering we have land nipples and Perrin I can't breathe through my fucking nose, Abara.
Oh, I am not familiar with that last one.
He's the one who killed his wife.
Oh, you mean furry in progress?
Yes. We have wife beater and land nipple.
Land nipple?
There's a scene I'm referencing. It's fine. I hate you. I don't know who I'm talking to anymore.
Don't worry, I can turn the replica and I can make you hate me.
Ever see me as a man? I didn't want you to see me as a monster.
Episode 204 is one that
I am judged,
so
so I don't want it.
And the thing that was so exciting about it is this reveal of Celine is actually Lanfear, one of the Forsaken.
Way too early.
Yeah, you just have her killed.
Relationship that she had in the past, and how it's easier to be with someone who's younger and doesn't have so much of a past. And what we wanted to do was really take the audience.
No, I can't keep saying that. I can't keep saying
that was not well communicated at all.
Well, it was obvious, didn't you know? It was common sense.
I really think this is kind of confirming they are not going to do Lewis Darren in Rand's head. They are not.
Well, no, actually, from what I understand, even though it's very hard to pick it up, and I've not picked it up, but supposedly there are places where you hear little voices, like when Rand is channeling.
I have noticed a few places, but they do not sound like Lewis Darren. That's the thing. They've done it. This might be another thing where they've just done it super fucking shittily, because I remember during that sanitarium episode, I was like, is the Dark One speaking to him? Because that's what it sounds like more than Lewis Darren. Because while Lewis Darren's mad, he wouldn't be whispering. He'd be loud, he'd be clear, he'd be talking, and he'd be doing shit. We'd be seeing his effect. But with the Dark One, they're almost making it like as if the taint makes it so he can hear the fucking Dark One, which is goddamn stupid. And why the fuck would Lewis Darren be a fucking whisper when we saw the madness from another person? He can actually see the goddamn person. We've already shown that as an effective madness. What are people supposed to fucking think when you suddenly start to have whispers rather than a real life person? Is it because it's growing madness?
Mm-hmm. To the point where they're quite invested in Celine and Rand's relationship.
Ray, 2 episodes
that
is
communicated.
Not good investigated.
Is also nowhere to be found in this film.
You are banned from reusing clips. You can only use new ones.
Stop! Time out!
You know what?
You technically followed the rule.
This is real. Patrick, explain.
I've had 5. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and fuck off with that question!
You need to integrate some wings clips, honestly. I see some wings in your future.
So So Trip, you constantly telling me I shouldn't have the cola. What should Dunn have so he doesn't do that? Because I think he's spazzing out more than I am in some ways.
There's
he is not.
There's nothing that would probably, other than maybe, I don't know, 500 milligrams of Valium.
Shit, before we pull the rug out from under them.
There's something you should know.
Oh, you fucking moron.
Monster too.
Episode 204 has a bunch of reveals laid right on top of each other.
You are a complication.
What do you mean? You made her into one.
Realize
What?
Leandrin is Black Aja. That she's
Wow, this woman just
also,
used
wait,
fucking...
pause. Did she? I don't think she actually said that in the episode.
No.
You're a complication. She said, "I'm sorry."
She did say you're a complication. So technically, that's fine.
Okay.
Like technically, that's fine. It's not a big deal. The fact that you're saying she's Black Aja and she's working for
Ishamael, that Ishamael is trying to put Matt and Rand back together, and
that's what was happening.
Lanfear.
I guess so.
We genuinely didn't know. We were fucking asking if we wanted that.
Permeated
I don't even know
right
if you know why. Also, pause. Wait, fuck. What was I about to say? Right. So, Leandrin, little personal thing. So, in book 2, when we see Leandrin for the first time, she's pretty quickly revealed as Black Aja. Not confirmed, but she does shit where you're like, oh, she's Black Aja. Like you notice straight off. It is not subtle.
Yeah, she's a horrible human being from the beginning.
Yeah,
and I think that was just a major spoiler for poor Codex.
I think he's past that point.
No,
he's past. You're past the first chapter. You see Leandrin, and honestly, again,
well, but
like by the first time you see her, you're automatically like, oh, you have to be, because I remember I was reading her chapter and I was wondering if Black Aja could lie. Because for a second, I was like, wait, so that means there has to be a Black Aja in the place because you can't lie. And then I realized, wait, I don't even know if Black Aja can't lie at all. Because they're Black Aja, could they be around that? And that was honestly a much more impactful... It is like off the bat with Leandrin. That's like the first time we really see her. And all of that's revealed. And saving it did not make it... wouldn't have made it more impactful. It was... Saving something does not necessarily make it impactful. It's her first appearance, and I was just fucking reeling by all the shit I was like kind of getting hints at and piecing together. But for some reason, this guy's like, yes, we must keep it as a fucking mystery box for however long we can. Which, granted, isn't much time at all, because they all want to do 8 episodes, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Also, if you're telling me I spoiled Leandrin being a Black Aja, the show literally just did, so fuck that. I think I have spoiled nothing he has not already been spoiled for. Yeah, it's dumb, it's stupid. I don't get it. Because actually, Leandrin is one of the characters I remember asking Trip, like, hey, do you know what happens to Leandrin? And she legit couldn't remember, but I've remembered her. I'm like, oh, here she is. I remember her fate.
Wait, what?
I one time asked you, this is long back, I asked you what the hell happened to Leandrin, and you legit could not remember.
Oh, well, that's actually not a surprise, because she kind of...
She vanishes, yeah. Don't blame you, but she is.
But yes, I'm not going to answer that because spoilers.
I wasn't asking you to answer. I said I was referencing that I asked you once and you could not remember. But she's always stuck out to me a bit because she was kind of our first Black Aes Sedai character.
We're spoiling things left and right for our poor boy.
Colin, me? Oh, I would just. I'll probably just.
What have I spoiled? What have I spoiled? Legitimate, like I'm
that there's more than one.
Well, it's just
Actually, wait. Nope. That is not a spoiler. First chapter in Great Hunt, you see 2 Aes Sedai in the Dark Friend meeting.
We don't know who they are, though.
We don't, but that means there's more than one, which is Trip was saying that's something I spoiled. No, we know there's more than one.
Well, the fact that Leandrin is Black Aja, I guess.
But I didn't spoil that. They literally called her that in the goddamn thing we were watching.
True. Okay, so you didn't. You're good.
See? Granted, I am in a mental state where I could honestly spoil shit and not realize, but I haven't yet. I am just ridiculously fucking off my rocker.
Yeah, I might need to
Yeah,
join
we could tell.
Why you not?
Yeah. Alrighty, boys.
Good point, but fuck off.
Well, it's getting very late. It's almost 1 a.m. We should probably call it good. But I think that this is only appropriate for this.
Enough! Kill me! Just end it.
No.